brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get JLP out, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes down, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get JLP out.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone is having a wonderful start to the week. Thank you so much as usual for tuning in. Really appreciate each and everyone continued support. Remember guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Tonight's topic is politics, cults, and corruption with your host, Mystic Sensation, which is Baron and Anne-Marie. And we also have Melting Pot. Let me say a special shout out to all our channel members and also to all our moderators. Let me just quickly welcome those in the chat. Dorothy McCoy, Audrey Rick, Marva Dice, Carla Ebanks, Charmaine Platt, Patel Cruikshank, M. Mac, Bloomy Coleman, Merlin Molioson, Rosa, Rennie Swaby, Barbara Giwa, Jonathan John, Cecile Phillips, Veronica Mitchell, Sharon Ricketts, Alethea Sterling, Gloria Blyden, Ranchil Taylor, Sadie Lynn Gill, Kingsley Anglin. Bless up. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, guys, continue to keep those in the western end of the island in your prayers, because they are still in dire need. And in a couple of days, we're going to have some update, because we got the information for a family that we're going to be assisting in Darliston, Westmoreland, a mother with 2 kids, and we're actually gonna get them a concrete structure. So stay tuned for that. Elaine Turner, Glendon Virgo, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And guys, remember Miss P. Kalaloo Initiative. You can contact us if you need orders, and we will get it to her, as well as she's working on how to get orders into her. So the slogan is from the bag to the pot. So remember Miss P, that she has that colorly business that she is getting off the ground. Without any further delay, let me hand over to.
All right, thank you for that, wifey, that usual wonderful precursor, wonderful presentation as always. You know, we are not going to start, and of course, unless we say a big umbrella welcome to all of our subscribers, persons in the chat room, right, locally and in the diaspora. Right, tonight's show is going to be an exciting one, right? And we are going to get into some serious investigation. But before we get into that, of course, I am going to have Melting Pot meet and greet his people. Brother Rattigan will be joining us later. All right, so you didn't send him the link?
Yes, I did, but
okay.
I forgot to mention.
All right, so Brother Rattigan will be joining us later. So that even make things spicier. So without any delay, let me just have Melting Pot meet and greet his wonderful people. Melting Pot.
Blessings once again to everyone tuning in to the Mystic Sensation live program. You know, tonight, as usual, come put some, meat on the bone, yeah, spice it up and things like that. Because I mean, some new revelation, just come about.
Melting Pot, you're a bit low. You're a bit low.
Hearing me better now?
Ah, here you go.
Yeah. I was saying some new revelation come about and we have to come address it tonight because, I mean, them things there carry a lot of spice. So I just want to big up everyone at the chat as usual. Enough respect, the support, big up the people them down at ground zero as usual. Keep the faith, keep strong. And to everyone, in the diaspora, enough respect, same way, Mystic Sensation, great. Big up to the host, Sir Lord Byron, technical director, Lady Anne Marie. And I mean, I want to say a belated, a pre-entry, big up to Sir Rattigan, soon then at the house. So, as usual, we have to unpack the host, Sir Lord Byron, your time.
All right. Thank you for that, Melting Pot. All right. So, yeah, thank you for that, Melting Pot. Just a little bit of distraction there.
Yep,
all right.
You started?
Yes. Okay. So let me just speak on something that we are going to deliver tonight in a very serious way, right? And it is going to be an investigation that we are going to provide some extra layer on. First and foremost, I want to say big up to the professor of Partner Draw TV, none other than Andre Stevenson, right? Want to say kudos goes to him. Last night, he had presented, I would say, a mastercraft delivery as it relates to a particular investigation involving Darrell Vaz. And, early this morning, someone sent the clipping to me and asked me to listen to this because I have been investigating some situations with Darrell Vaz. And of course I listened, and when I listened, right, it was a masterpiece of delivery done by Andre, and he asked a very important question, and tonight we are going to deliver, right, the answer as it relates to what Andre had asked. Andre had asked as it relates to the source of funding, where Darrell Vaz got the source of funding. Tonight, we are going to bring another layer of understanding and some clarity as it relates to that particular question that was asked by Andre. So once again, let me say, kudos goes out to Andre, right? And we are just going to run the relay the other side of the investigation in terms of bringing extreme clarity to the situation with evidence, my people. So the first thing that we want to do, we want to make sure that we play back the clip as it relates to Andre's clip. What I did earlier today, I make sure I got in touch with Andre and of course seek his permission to put my extended observation, right, and portion to the clip as well. And indeed, Andre granted the permission. So once again, kudos to Andre. Now, let us go back, because tonight, as I said, we are going to bring some serious clarity to this situation. Let us go back to the clip that Andre played, and at the end, we are going to, take over and add our piece as it relates to the question that Andre asks. Without any delay on it, let us play that clip.
Is Trowley a business associate, partner, or family to Daryl Vaz? And if he's a business associate, partner, or family member, is this another act of nepotism?
Of course.
How did Trowley end up getting the contract to carry in the 100 buses? Am I allowed to go even further tonight? Am I allowed, Courtney, to go even further tonight? Daryl Vaz, I'm not afraid of lawsuits because I'm asking questions tonight. I am guarded and I am ready because I am asking questions tonight. These are not the old buses. These are the new buses that came in from China that stewards and this company got to carry in. And you remember they came and attempted to sue me. And I said to them, Courtney, come after me and be ready to get the truth to be exposed. But I am going even further tonight. See, dear Courtney. See, dear Jamaica. I want to ask the Integrity Commission something tonight. I am asking the Integrity Commission a serious question tonight. I am asking, where did Daryl Vaz, as a public servant, got $400,000 cash to purchase a house?
All right. Let us get into, all right. We are going to get into some more detail of that information. Right. Let me just hold on. So we are going to get into the intricacies of that. Oh, Brother Rattigan is here. All right. So hold on. I am going to send a different clip because apparently we clicked on the wrong one. Yes, honey, put up that clip that I just said. Sorry about that, my people. Right? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Right, let me just sorry about that. Let me just get back to that clip that we are talking about. Where we get into the intricacies of the details. Yes. Go back a little. Okay, go back a little. Go back a little. Go. Yeah. Okay, start it.
I'm going to Daryl Vaz, good night, sir. Does Daryl Vaz have a house at 7671 Red Bay Lane, Parkland, Florida, 33076?
Come on, stop it, man.
Listen.
Since Brother Rattigan is here, let me just make before we get into the investigation. Brother Ratti, meet and greet your people. Let me just, before we get into that.
No sound.
No sound, no sound.
Mike.
Yes. Go ahead. Sound. No sound, Ratty. Ratty, no sound. No sound. Talk.
Mike.
Yes.
Need a new system, brother. If it's Tuesday night, it's Mystic Sensation, and I've got to be there. Bless up Melting Pot, Lord Byron, Lady Anne Marie, and all of you wonderful people out there, supporters and viewers and everybody alike. Even the haters, you're tuning in and you're learning. So we're thankful for that because we'll make a believer out of you before the end of the night. Good to be here.
All right. Blessings. Okay. So let us get back into the investigation that we want to connect to, right? And let us hear the delivery in terms of what Andre is delivering.
I'm going to ask again, Jamaica. Does Daryl Vaz own a house, a Florida house, at 7671 Red Bay Lane, Parkland, Florida, 33076? Very affluent neighborhood in Florida.
Uptown.
Now, Jamaica. You remember I spoke about the houses and the buses. The buses that were granted to Stewart's Autos. You remember the buses, Courtney? Yes. And I asked about why did the buses go to Stewart Autos?
Why?
And also same with Von Trolley. So I researched Jamaica. Ishmael, this one. The entity reference and Van Motors in context of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company. Contracts is primarily known as Van Motors and Company Limited. Put it up a little bit more, Ishmael. We're researching tonight. If you recall, when the buses were being granted Jamaica, you remember the company Van Motors Company Limited. The key directors and officers of this company include Lorraine Von Strowley, a director and principal officer of the company, and John Von Strowley, serving as the purchases and sales manager. Recent business, that is John Von Strowley, Jamaica. He was a former seat there. In April 2024, the cabinet approved a US 18.9 million contract to whom John Motors and Company Limited to supply 100 compressed natural gas buses to the JUTC, Courtney.
Yeah.
But let us look at the legal and tax history of this company. The company and its director, Lorraine Von Trolly, were recently involved in legal proceedings regarding Income Tax Act breaches related to declarations of income from JUTC businesses in 2018 and 2019. But I want to ask a question tonight, Jamaica.
Ask.
Am I allowed to ask the questions tonight?
If it asks, it asks.
Trowley got a contract from the government of the cabinet of Jamaica equating to 18.9 million US dollars. Who is Trowley to Daryl Vaz? Who is Trowley Jamaica to Daryl Vaz? Courtney.
Teacher.
I'm going to ask again.
Who
is Trowley to Daryl Vaz?
I'm trying to remember.
Is Trowley a business partner of Daryl Vaz? I'm going to ask again, Courtney. Is associate partner or family to Daryl Vaz? And if he's a business associate, partner, or family member, is this another act of nepotism?
Of course.
How did Trowley end up getting the contract to carry in the 100 buses? Am I allowed to go even further tonight? Am I allowed, Courtney, to go even further tonight? Daryl Vaz, I'm not afraid of lawsuits because I'm asking questions tonight. I am guarded and I am ready because I am asking questions tonight. These are not the old buses. These are the new buses that came in from China that stewards and this company got to carry in. And you remember they came and attempted to sue me. And I said to them, Courtney, come after me and be ready to get the truth to be exposed. But I am going even further tonight. See there, Courtney. See there, Jamaica. Trowley is also known, Ishmael, as one of the Spyglass Development latest project. Trowley owns several car mart in Ocherius, Andre. Trowley and Daryl Vaz, is there any truth that you are business partners involved in a luxury residential development in Jamaica known as Spyglass located in Red Hills? Ishmael, the last piece of document. Arthur Van Strowley led AVS Builders Limited. Am I to go further tonight?
Yes.
So Strawley got the contract from Daryl Vaz to carry in those 100 buses. But you think that is my substantive issue tonight? Do you believe that is my substantive issue tonight? It's not my substantive issue, Jamaica.
All right. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set the rat trap. Set the rat trap. Set the rat trap. The two for the rat them. Set the rat trap.
So the house in question that I spoke about in Red Bay Lane, Parkland, Florida. Daryl Vaz bought this house from Arthur Van Strawley in 2020. Do I need to get further? Here is the record of it, Jamaica. Ishmael?
Proven facts.
Ishmael, I'm showing you all tonight, Jamaica. It's all public record. It was bought. But when you want me to go further, don't it? Say further, teacher. So in 2020, Daryl Vaz bought this house from Arthur Van Strawley for $400,000 US. You don't hear what I said, Jamaica? $400,000 US.
What? All right. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set the rat trap. Set the rat trap. Set the rat trap. The two for the rat them. Set the rat trap.
$400,000 US. Ishmael, put up the records because I want the records to be there. Daryl Vaz, I'm showing the records tonight. The house valued. Ishmael, work with me, please. The house valued $600,000 US. Bring it up. Bring it up, Jamaica. The house valued $600,000 US. However, based on public records, I want to be correct tonight. In 2020, from Arthur Trolley for $400,000, and on June 2025, value then was $600,000. The sale was to a company called Kingston 21 Reality Group, LLC. It was bought, Jamaica, with cash, Courtney.
With what?
Cash. No mortgage. Then 5 days later, it was sold, transferred to a trust called Douglas Foundation Trust. Daryl Vaz, the Douglas Foundation Trust. Is that the name of your father? No mortgage.
No, not all.
It was bought cash, Jamaica. Then transferred. 5 days after.
Yes.
5 days after Jamaica. It was transferred to the Douglas Foundation Trust. I therefore am asking Jamaica, is that the name of Daryl Vaz's father, Douglas Vaz?
Yeah.
When did he die? The house value is now over $1 million US.
1 million.
Look on Instagram, you will see his wife and them posting stories of the family in the house. In 2020, that was the year, or 2019, I believe, that was the year that Daryl visa was cancelled.
2019, COVID time.
So if he gave up the US citizenship, the house could go into the children's name. But it is in a trust cause. Why? I want to ask the Integrity Commission something tonight. I am asking the Integrity Commission a serious question tonight. I am asking the Integrity Commission a serious question tonight. I am asking, where did Daryl Vaz, as a public servant, got $400,000 cash to purchase a house?
Cash.
Was this ever declared in his statutories? You have to do a statutory declaration. Was this ever declared in his statutories? I am going to ask again to the Integrity Commission. Was this ever declared in his statutories? One, it's not 400,000 Jamaican, but $400,000 US.
Yeah, Brother Ratty and Melting Pot, I hope you are taking the notes, because I'm going to have Melting Pot kick off this mission first. But let us get to the question of which Andre asked. So Daryl Vaz in 2020, right, bought a house at 7671 Red Bay Lane, Portland, Florida, using 400,000 US cash. Brother Ratty and Melting Pot, make sure you're writing it down. So what, as it relates to the professor's question, where did Daryl Vaz got this money from? What is the source of financing this purchase? Brilliant question. This is where we come in tonight, which we are going to provide. We are going to provide two sources of how Daryl Vaz possibly get this money. Cannot get it from anywhere else, right? As it relates to those two sources that we are going to provide tonight. And we are going to show evidence of certain things. Now, Daryl Vaz in 2019, salary roughly about 4 million Jamaican dollars, right? So obviously, his salary cannot, make that purchase. Obviously, again, in terms of information that we did, he did not declare that in his statutory declaration, so problem for him. Problem for him. And we are going to take this case. We are going to operate behind the windows, right, in terms of revealing certain information to the relevant authority in the United States. And so then this investigation is not going to project within the shores of Jamaica. It is going to project from the shores of the United States. And that is why it is important as it relates to Brother Ratty taking the notes, Brother Melting Pot taking the notes, and of course, Darrell Vaz, I hope, right, you're listening tonight. Now, let us show one of the first possible source that Darrell Vaz had definitely has access to that amount of cash and definitely could pull the resources from that cash. Two sources we are going to show tonight. Let us get to the number one source. Honey, bring up the first document. We want people to see this. We want people to track it. And we are going to show, right, as it relates to, yeah, the first document. Now let us show this information. Oh, hold on, let me just direct Wi-Fi. Here, the first one. All right, let us get and bring it up to the people where the people can see it as it relates to source number one. And we know that Darrell Vaz have this cash evidence. And Andre, of course, and several times I have shown this, made mention of this, so I'm going to provide the information as it relates to what Andre talked about. Now, the incident, can you go through the reading? Okay. Incident involved Vaz travel to Mexico City to collect kickbacks from his Moon Palace Resorts connection for his role in the rooms on the beach deal, a prime Jamaican property. The payments of US $2 million were made through the Jamaican commissioned agent. But Mr. Vaz collected US $475,000 in Mexico City. I want people to see this. The payment of $2 million were made through the Jamaican Commission agent, but Mr. Vaz collected how much? $475,000 in Mexico City. Now, this took place 2019. So Darrell Vaz would have this cash to purchase this house, right? That value of $400,000 US. Here it is in plain sight. One of the sources. One of the possible sources. The financial transaction flowed through the US banking system, and Mr. Vaz was fingered, and when consolidated with US real estate and huge construction work at his house in Portland, Vaz was sanctioned. These funds were also used to acquire additional properties in Portland near Monkey Island. The Moon Palace money also led to the Prime Minister. People, I want you to listen. The Moon Palace money also led to the Prime Minister, who made an huge and illegal cash lodgement to First Global Bank in New Kingston, which the US authorities have flagged because it violated US laws. The deposit was not reported as the law requires. This caused the bank officer, who is a strong JLP supporter and acted as an HT chairman, to be fired. He has since been rehired at the Jamaica National Jamaican Cultural at the Jamaica National Bank. Sorry, he has since been hired at the Jamaica National Bank by Curtis Martin. Let us go to number 2 document. So we see that the money that Darrell Vaz collected in Mexico in 2019, right? And as it relates to the document, you're talking about a total deal of 2 million were made through Jamaican Commission agent, right? 2 million. Now, he has since been rehired at Jamaica National Bank by Curtis Martin. The investigation at the bank has been blocked by Senator Dan Webby. Dan Webby blocked this investigation, a JLP senator and chairman of GK Financial Services. However, the US FBI officers who came to Jamaica remain concerned about the transactions. The name Andrew Holness itself, along with Police Commissioner Anthony Anderson, came up for visa revocation within the State Department. The US authorities believe that Mr. Vaz is at the center of racketeering, money laundering, and other financial crimes, and their investigation in the US is pointing to the threatening the very existence of the Holness government. The matter is not over. Take that away. Now, let me say this. This transaction that Darrell Vaz, right, made this purchase in 2020 for the $400,000 US, right? That money that he collected in Mexico, and where he converted it, possibly converted it to his own use, right? That is money laundering 101. Other situation to concern is that purchasing the house and then transfer 5 days after, serious laws breach as it relates to the United States. Now, let me just speak to Rattigan about something, and then, of course, we have Melting Pot. I'm going to say something here because we are not going to go through that persons who we had interviewed. The second source in terms of where Darrell Vaz would have gotten this money from, which is now extremely serious. Darrell Vaz would possibly got this money from out of SSL. We had interviewed Rattigan and myself had interviewed, right, an inside link that would privy to this information. The inside link told Rattigan and myself that Darrell Vaz controlled multiple JLP accounts in SSL. 2019, 2020, up to 2021, at the point of it close in 2021. Darrell Vaz controlled multiple JLP accounts. Not only that, Darrell Vaz, right, according to the person who Rattigan and myself interviewed, said he had took money out of SSL to send his daughter to university. Now, this is a situation that is very serious. That they, if that is the case, using investors' money, buying up properties, the same thing that Paul Cheng Young did in the 1990s. Paul Cheng Young and Associates. The very same thing that caused the FinSac, to exist. The very same behavior, money laundering 101. Here in plain sight, that the two sources that I had listed, Darrell Vaz couldn't have gotten the money cash from nowhere else. Either source one, as it relates to Darrell Vaz, went into Mexico and personally collected $475,000 US. Source number two, Darrell Vaz operate multiple accounts in SSL. Those accounts rob investors. Right? Yes? Those accounts, I'm not hearing you. What is it? What is it? Yes. So, based on what we have seen there, the possibility of these money coming out of SSL to purchase that property for $400,000 US. Right? Now, Melting Pot, let me go to you as it relates to your observation in this situation.
Yeah, my observation is that, Darrell Vaz carry out some spooky deal with the rooms and the beach hotel, yeah, and the beach land in St. Anne. We all know it was sold to Curator Carib Properties Limited in 2017. Now, this listed property limited is owned by some Mexican investors. You understand? So that's the reason why I'm going to Mexico. But what we find very disturbing in all of that is that when Darrell Vaz carried out this sale, he should never have done that because he was minister without portfolio. You understand? Yeah? And we also knew what transpired in 2019 was that the Office of the Contractor General, the OCG, accused Darrell Vaz of wrongdoing as it relates to the sale of rooms on the beach, hotel, and land. Yeah, because Darrell Vaz, influenced the sale of the room and the beach property to the tune of $7.2 million US, significantly well below the original estimated value of $13.5 million US. Now we are seeing that as a vast reduction in value to the tune of $6.3 million US undervalue. That's what Darrell Vaz did. So when you look at the period, yeah, this happened prior to the purchase of this property in Florida in 2020. But we know Darrell Vaz would have made a lot of money from this illegal activity sale that him conduct on the rooms on the beach hotel, right? I remember him selling land them as well. So they make a killing, and the estimated killing is anywhere between $6.3 million US. Because we know for a fact that our beach resort is in high demand. So there's no way the valuator could have valued at $13.5 million US. But then this entity that come in and purchase it only offer you 7.2. No, because our beach resort and hotel is in high demand by investors. They all want to come and invest. So it's like hot bread on the market. There's no way it could have been undervalued to the score of 6.3 million US dollar. So we know where I'm going with this. So that's why I see him fly to Mexico and collect the kickback. Yeah. But at the time, you have to put into question the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, Darrell Vaz, yeah, and the person in charge of UDC at the time. Them know about this thing, because remember them sell some land, beach land them. UDC did have to involve in that. Yeah. Andrew Holness have to involve in the sale of the property. Yeah. Indirectly and directly as well. You understand? Because they have to get to go ahead to Darrell Vaz to deal with this, and him know everything. He must privy to the whole transaction deal based on my assessment of how I look at it. So we've seen that as one way of Darrell Vaz getting that amount of money. And the simple fact of the matter that the people who buy the property is from Mexico and them fly go Mexico, that give a direct link. That give a direct link in our people. So that is one. But we can't leave out SSL as well, because we know him preside over several JLP accounts in a SSL. All those accounts were listed as JLP accounts, not being itemized as A, B, C, or D account, just listed as JLP account. Him preside over them as the chairman. And we know him did move money into the United States for him data tuition. So him could have moved other money as well. People money where gone, missing by the scandal and the corruption of SSL. So we see this now as something that the Integrity Commission must investigate, because as partner draw saying, and we know him don't declare this property, this 400,000 US dollar property in Florida, him don't declare it to the IC. You understand? And then again, what you have to use to, put everything into bracket is the simple fact that Darrell Vaz did not buy that place basically then of his own, admiration or want, because immediately after purchasing this property, within 5 days, it's up for sale. But then when we look on the sale now, it's a fictitious thing because it moved into the Douglas Vaz Foundation, which is Darrell Vaz's father, as we all know. So that alone show you the clear picture, say, a money laundering, yeah? And it also, the same period of time, also tie Andrew Holness to this vast amount of money when put in a First Global Bank, CMUS as well. So that's why we know Andrew involved in all of the wrongdoing with down of rooms and beach hotel. You understand? They make a vast amount of money, people. Yeah, because as me I point out, using my knowledge of how we know Jamaica tourist industry is well sought of. The person who wanted that property to buy would not buy it at that reduced cost, because he would have had to have other competitors bidding as well. It can't be a direct sale. If you're going to put up a property for sale, you have to put it out upon the market. It can't be just you and an individual alone know about it and you carry out a sale where you undervalue the property from 13.5 million US to 7.2 million US. That show a vast deficit of 6.3 million US. Now a commodity as beach resort hotel in Jamaica, it would have gain more money than undervalue. So Pumbaz and Andrew Holness and whoever did their UDC at the time, I think I see a lady pop up by the name of Heather Pinnock. Yeah, she was the general manager around a UDC at the time. So them three people are nowhere going. But it's a shame and disgrace that our head of official them carry out them behavior with the taxpayers' money. Because I remember them thing that belongs to Jamaica, It belongs to Andrew Holness, Pumbaz, nobody. And the taxpayers thing, those are Jamaican assets that must be in charge And the people you understand? The people respond to that. Not the government. The government don't go preside over the day-to-day activity till them change, till the government change the next one, take it over. So the taxpayers has been robbed once again by the Prime Minister and Darrell Vaz. Rob by a vast amount of millions. Because when Darrell Vaz buy that house for 400,000 US cash, no mortgage, as we saw. Yeah. Remember Andrew Wallace get film cut already, you know. And remember another just a 400,000 US where him spend. Get more than that. Where him just spend that on the building. A whole heap of money as me I look on. Me I see 6.3 million US from the sale of room. Yeah, because I'm sure know them get the 13.5 million. Where it value. Because remember, you know, the commodities is hot property. And all of them guys that want to invest in the tourism in Jamaica. Because them here say it a giveaway. And it's a prime destination. You understand? For tourists come. So there's no way him could have carried down to the valley of 7.2 million people. Between him and Andrew, we are look on the 6.3 billion gone to them. That's why I'm going to, yeah, and Mexico go collect the 475,000 US. But I don't go that alone, him collect them. Collect more. Him collect more. But he was caught at the time with that. Because remember, I know, a US counterpart alert that, you know. Yeah. So we didn't know where I go on. So they made alert the people in Jamaica about him and the briefcase of money. Where him go pick up. So I will heap of activity him go on with it. And it have to stop. So Integrity Commission, yeah, them need to do them line of investigation on this. I'm glad I see which part the FBI said the case not finished yet. So we have to wait with bated breath to see what going to happen. Yeah, because this out there now, you know, so well then we have to beat it till I'm a bend. Same way. And make more people come aware of what is taking place with Darrell Vaz. Yeah? Being a criminal alongside the Prime Minister. And there's no two ways about that. Darrell Vaz and Andrew Wallace has been secretly going around selling off Jamaican assets, using Jamaican tax money for their own benefits. We have seen it on more than one occasion. And we are asking the law enforcement to step in because enough is enough. You can't have two criminals alone and taking away the amount of money. We look at 1.4 billion gone in the last big scandal before the election. All boss all know we don't see them there. We see him friend them and him cronies that get paid government contract that are not being put out there for tendered purpose. Yeah, contract that they are giving us emergency and direct contract. And all these things are wrong. Because whenever you're doing sales, you know, yeah, you have to put things on the table. If you have a contract where you want people to go and bring stuff come, you have to put it on the table. It can't be that nepotism and cronyism becomes the business model where the Jamaica Labour Party are used. We have to bring that to our end, my brother. And I yield back the floor.
All right. Before I bring in Brother Ratty, let me just take a caller. Yes, caller, you're a mystic sensation. Let me just give you 2 minutes to make your comment. Go ahead.
Yes, night mystic, night
blessing
night Ratty. I've been watching you guys' program for a while. First time calling in.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Van Strally, I know him very, very good. Seeing all of these stuff about him, I lose my respect for him. Because this is the guy with first used car dealer in Jamaica. They have some little bikes that just came in the country. He's the first person bringing these bikes. First person to bring in Chinese buses in Jamaica. And to see him mix up with this guy. All of these guys, they link together, you know. They have all the yacht out by Yacht Club.
Wow.
You know? To see his name is calling on these stuff. It's really bad. Really, really, really bad.
All right. So,
Alright?
all right. So,
And keep on doing the work. What Andre is saying is on point. That house that Darrell was by,
yeah.
Charlie had that house a long while. His brother have a car dealer place in Ocherius also. So Andre is on point.
Okay, and you are confirming this?
Yes.
Solid. Okay, solid.
Yeah, I know him. He's even in the cash plus thing, he lose some of his business.
Huh?
Yes, Charlie, he lose some of his business because his dealer is right around on Ballot Avenue.
Okay.
In Alpha Tree. Yeah. So everything fall in place.
Okay.
Alright?
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Mr. Big up your wife. May your wife do the same type of job.
All right. Blessings.
All right.
Blessings. Cool. All right. Okay. Brother Ratty, we have some serious situations here. Let me point out some of the situation. Based on the allegation, Darrell made a purchase in Florida, Portland, Florida, to be exact. House located at 7671 Red Bay Lane. Made a purchase of $400,000 US. But after making that purchase in 5 days, he transferred that to a trust. Right? Now, based on certain rules in the United States as it relates to real estate, right, that is a serious breach as it relates to the Real Estate Act. So this is trouble for Darrell Vaz. And based on what information that we have, where he traveled to Mexico, right? He collected $475,000 US in Mexico, right? That could be a possible source in terms of where he get the money from. Now, the number 2 source is to the fact that he has been in SSL, right? Along with Andrew Holness. And he was the one who monitoring several JLP accounts in SSL. You and I have done that interview with that person, and that person gave us the detail. Let me have you make your comment.
Well, I wasn't really following the story, but today some people called me and asked me, because as you know, I'm following a different story. But
yes.
So here's what they sent me. Here's what I found out.
Talk up in the mic more, Ratty.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah. That is 7671 Red Bay Lane in Parkland, Florida, with a zip code of 33076. A single family home built in 2013. It's about 2,609 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. And in 2013, October 2013, it was built, and a mortgage was taken out in the amount of $341,500. It was actually purchased for $631,300, and a mortgage took out for $341,500. So they put on almost what, $290,000, somewhere around there. And the owner at the time was Arthur Von Straley. So he purchased it in 2013. It was built in 2013. And then in 2020, it was sold for $400,000. I don't know what the market was, but I know people are familiar with that area. And they said that's a upmarket area. You don't find houses being sold for this kind of money over there. I don't know what happened at the time. I'd have to go back and check and see what the market was like. But here's the interesting thing. It was purchased by, and I'm just reading to you what was sent to me. It was purchased by a company called Kingston 21 Realty Group, LLC. And there's the registered agent for the company is a gentleman by the name of Brett Fang Sang, PHANG-SANG. and then it was sold to the Douglas Foundation Trust, a private entity. So here's what we need to do. And I was talking to this person today and said, it's a very easy way to address this. You can go to in most cities, they have like a city hall or a clerk's office where you can go and you can get all the information regarding to real estate. So Parkland is in Broward County, so we'd have to go look at the Broward County Property Appraiser's office, and there you get the appraisal, maps, tax information. And you can go to the Broward County Records, Taxes, and Treasury Division, where they have the deeds, liens, mortgages, and I guess the title. Or you can go to the clerk of the court if there was a lien or foreclosure on it. I wasn't planning on doing anything regarding this case, but it looks like I may have to make some phone calls and have some people pull the records for this, because those records, they'll tell you from the time the place was purchased. It'll tell you the owners, how much money. It'll give you all the information you need. So what I'm curious about is this, that it was said that Mr. Vaz purchased a place in 2020. Right? But I see here where they said the owner, doesn't say the purchaser, so I'm not quite sure. I have to see the records, but it says the owner is Kingston 21 Realty Group. Now, it's possible that somebody could have purchased it and then transferred it to them. I don't have that in front of me. Yes. But in short order, I will. And remember, I've been saying all along that a lot of these politicians, their money, the bulk of their investments, assets, they're not in Jamaica. They're in Florida. The mansions, the cars, the boats, the investment accounts, the bank accounts, all that is in Florida, because that's where they go and they hang out. And we just need to start putting people's name in the database and try to figure out, okay, because a lot of this is public record. We just need somebody to start doing it, to put the names in and see what we'll come up with. And I guarantee you, we're going to come up with a lot. But this particular one, yeah, I'm going to talk to some people and see if we can pull the records on this one. And if it's interesting, then we might do it for a couple other people as well. We might say, hey, let's see the public records for some of the politicians we believe have assets hiding out in Florida. And you made a crucial point, and I must emphasize it, and that is integrity. Well, I don't even call them integrity commission, because you know my feelings about them. Yes. But the commission needs to start looking into these things to see if people have accurately reported their assets, income, and liabilities. And it's very easy, because their mandate is that they can actually work with foreign entities. And so I am beside myself as to why they don't have some kind of an agreement with the FBI, with law enforcement, so that they can say, hey, look, you know what? We have gotten some statutory declarations. We don't believe these things to be true. And so we want you, we're enlisting your aid to give us some information so that we can complete the statutory declarations scrutiny. That is something that they should have done from the moment they were established. And I don't think they have. The Egmont group is another group that they could work through, but no, it's kind of, they have to go through FID, so it's a problem there. But these are things that they should have done when they were first established. And I guarantee you, people, I guarantee you that should the commission or any law enforcement body start a cooperative venture with law enforcement in the United States, they're going to come up with more information that they can shake a stick at concerning politicians and major business people in Jamaica.
All right, Ratty, this is what I want to stress on. Number one, based on your ability and capacity, of course, that you are going to be in pursuit of some information to verify whether or not that this purchase indeed, right, has anything to do with Darrell Vaz. Now, for argument's sake, that it is proven to be so, that he's the one who made the purchase in 2020, right? This is that information now to go to the Integrity Commission investigators to be investigated as it relates to Darrell Vaz 2019 statutory declaration. So then if we prove, Ratty, which we are going to do that investigation, that yes, this property belongs to Darrell Vaz. One, we prove that. Now the next thing is to now turn to the Integrity Commission investigators, right, as it relates to a process of complaint, right? They now will look into that to see if, okay, all right, what did Darrell Vaz declared on his statutory declaration for 2019? And if this is not listed on his statutory declaration 2019, obviously Darrell Vaz is in trouble. But the other thing that I want to ask you, Ratty, if the house belongs to Darrell Vaz, as it relates to that purchase, does the system in the United States, as it relates to real estate, allow you to transfer it in 5 days?
Yeah. People flip houses all the time. In fact, I've seen instances where a house was flipped the same day they purchased it, same day they sold it. It's not illegal to do it, but you have to account. You have to account in some way, shape, or form for the funding. You know, and that's we're talking about tax. Yeah, tax purposes. No, you're going to have to account for that funding, where the money came from, where the money went. So while it's not illegal, and I'm talking about New York state law now, and I think it's the same. I think it's the same that you can flip homes. It's not a problem with flipping it, and there's no time. The only problem is if there's a mortgage involved, then you have to make them aware, because if you're taking out a mortgage on a house and you're going to flip the house the same day, it depends on the terms and the agreement that you have with the mortgage company, because some of them might say, because they have to make money.
Yes.
Right? And they're not going to be making much money if you take it and you flip it the same day. So it depends on the terms and the conditions of that mortgage, the first mortgage, the one that you're getting, right? So it depends on that. But the act itself of flipping a home, buying it today, selling it 5 days later, that in and of itself is not illegal.
Okay, so question, what if the source of funds came from nefarious means?
Well, yeah, that's a problem. That is a problem, and especially if you're paying cash,
yes,
it could become problematic. And like I know people, they won't. They're in the business of buying and selling, and they won't take a cash sale unless they know where the money is coming from, because people do money laundering like that day in, day out, and you don't want to be a part of that. So yeah, the source of funds is problematic, and like you said, if you can show if you can show that, okay, the house was purchased by Minister Vaz, right, and you said, well, it was if you can show it was purchased by him, and if you can show that it was $400,000 cash, the question is, where did the money come from, right? He's gonna have to show where that money came from. Now, you have two problems now. You have a problem now with the US, and you have a problem with Jamaica. And that's why I'm saying that the commission should align itself with law enforcement in the US, because something like this is going to be a problem. Here's a project that we should do. We should get all of the politicians' names, all of them, all 63 of them, right? We should get all of them and just say, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do like a global search on all 63 of them to figure out, okay, who have what, where? Who have what, where? And then what we do when we collect that, we just send it to the commission and say, we don't know if you have this information, but we're giving it to you so that now you can look at the statutory declarations and determine who properly and accurately provided you with information, and then leave it up to them, because they, of course, they're not going to share their investigative work product with us, but at least give them something to work with. Because I mean, this is something, Mystic. This is something that they should be doing.
Yeah. All right. There's a question there. If Douglas Trust is composed of assets obtained with illegal sources of funds, can the trust be dissolved and assets confiscated?
All right. First thing is that you're going to have to figure out where was the trust established, right? If it's a foreign trust or if it's a local trust. And then you're going to have to make the argument that it's being used to launder funds. And that's how you're going to get law enforcement involved, because it's difficult to find. Once somebody register a trust, it's really difficult for you to pierce that trust, meaning for you to peel the layers back and say, okay, who's involved in this trust and what's the source of funding, how much money they have, what have they purchased. It's kind of difficult, but if you can show that there is criminal activity involved with it, then all bets are off.
Okay. All right. Well said, Brother Ratty. Thank you for that input. Now, Jamaica, we're going to get into some more serious issues. Right? As you see, politics, cults, and corruption. And what we are going to show tonight is...
Mystic, yes. Can I stop you for a second there? Gillian make a good point. Gillian, you can put that up where she said, isn't how the US banking system gets triggered? Yeah, that's a good point. Because what happened, there's something called a SAR, suspicious activity report, and it's done by the Treasury Department. Where if they see a certain amount of money going back and forth or wherever, it will trigger an inquiry. So the question that she's raising is, where did he get the 400K, right? Did he get it through a bank? Because if he got it through a bank, then a SAR would have been generated.
Yeah.
And if a SAR is generated, that's what I'm saying, the commission needs to get involved in this. If a SAR is generated, then an investigation could be generated as a result of that. But she's right that when you say cash, when you say the purchase in cash, I don't know if he showed up at the closing with $400,000 in hard cold cash or it was a check, a bank check. If it's a bank check, then a SAR would have been generated. And if he showed up with $400,000, I doubt he showed up with $400,000 in hard cold cash. I'm willing to bet that that money was deposited somewhere and then they use a check. I don't think he showed up with $400,000 and say, I'm buying this thing. However, if this, what's it, Century 20, what, not Century 21, if it's Kingston 21 Realty, if that is Darrell Vaz, if that is Minister Vaz, Kingston 21 Realty Group.
Yes.
And he purchased it for $400,000. The question is, where did the money come from? Did the money come from the trust? Or did the money come from him with a check? But either way, this is something that should be looked at. You know, at the very least, it should be looked at. But Gillian, thanks for raising that point about the 400K, because then a SAR would be generated.
All right, thank you for that, Ratty. Let me just have this caller engage us, and then we continue. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Mystic. Good night, Mr. And good night, Mr. Ratty.
Yes, good night, my dear.
Okay, question. Before that, let me say this first. We all are aware what Chapman has done with the report concerning Andrew Holness. Okay?
Repeat that. So, repeat that. Hold on. Repeat that.
We all are aware by now what Chung has done with the report concerning Andrew Holness. He put denied access to the report.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So the question is, he's paid by taxpayers, so does Andrew Holness. Is it constitutional right for him to do something like that, to deny the people access to the report? Can you please answer that for me? Either you mistake or Mr. Rattigan. I'm going to hang up and listen. Okay? You can expand on it too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Ratty, being the lawyer, you want to have your take on that?
Yeah, she's talking about what did she say? She said something to the effect that the FID said that they're not going to give a report, not going to provide a report.
The FID chief, right, denied access to the report.
What was the nature of the ATI request? That's what we need to know. What was asked for?
I think she was just asking a general question in terms of if anyone want to find out any information whatsoever pertaining to that. If him have a right to deny access generally.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a second. Let me just interpret. I think she was referring to the fact that the bar Dennis Strong from the information. Remember, 2 weeks ago. Remember the investigation team that went in, told him to recluse himself. So access was denied to Dennis Strong.
So
I
think that's what.
Hold on.
I think that's
hold on, melting pot, because I don't believe that that's what the caller was saying. So let me just call back the caller for the caller to clarify, and so then we can answer specifically.
I don't know what other consensus was asked of him,
yes,
or not, but I know that I realized that the access to the report is barred, it's denied. And is it him that has done it, right? I want to be correct about that. Dennis Strong, right?
So you're saying that access to the report, right?
Generally, yes. If it is constitutional right that no one has any access to know what has happened.
Well, all right.
Within the report, after reviewing and all of that.
But here my answer to that, and then Ratty can take it on. I think when you have an active investigation, that wouldn't privy to public access. If there's an ongoing investigation, there is no way that the public, that the investigators is going to give any form of access to the public. That would be secret within the realms of the investigators.
Wait, let me ask you. You're talking then when they view it and it is done, it's closed. No one can have any access to know what goes on within it and what is end result to their decision towards it.
Hear what
you're saying?
Yeah, hear what we know. Hear what we know. That investigation is ongoing as we speak. So then, yes. So if anyone want any form of public access, that wouldn't be granted. Basically, in terms of investigation 101.
Correct.
You wouldn't do that.
Correct.
Question.
Yes.
Question. I think I see something in the media that is being denied. Is it true?
No, that information is false.
Okay, this is why I asked a question. To clarify, this is why I asked a question. So then it is ongoing.
Yes, the investigation is still ongoing. All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right. All right. I think so Ratty, basically in terms of what I said, when you have an ongoing investigation, you understand there's no way any investigator is going to give the public any form of report. You understand, pertaining to that investigation. That wouldn't be that wouldn't be appropriate either.
No, they wouldn't do that. And then there are certain the rule is that you when you file the ATI, you get information. But they have a whole bunch of exceptions. Like, for example, one of them is cabinet deliberations. You will not get that. Anything that the cabinet said them sit down and them discuss, and you say, I want to know what you guys discuss about this. You're not going to get that.
Yes.
And another one is ongoing investigations. They will not give that. They will not give that to you. In fact, I think even if after the investigation is closed, they might even use a clause inside here not to give it to you. So, and then also one last thing. people, what you see in the media, be very careful. Be very careful. I am an example of it. Just be careful what you read in the media. Just because it says Gleaner or Observer or New York Times or Daily News or whatever doesn't mean it's accurate. And remember, usually the first report is not the most correct report. Just a word to the wise.
All right. Thank you for that, Rocky. Now let us get into some serious situation as it relates to how the Jamaica Labour Party had extended, right, its arm as it relates to the underground world, right, and linking up with cult, right, and all sort of nefarious situations with the Jamaica Labour Party and cult movement, right? And so then, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, by any means necessary to stay in power, right, involved in the most evil, right, actions. Now, we are going to show something as it relates to the cult movement that the Jamaica Labour Party involved in. And we are going to ask one question, and we need, right, some answers as it relates to, right, this particular case with this particular person. Now, Jamaica, let us move with this. Now, some serious situation as it relates to Jamaica Labour Party and cult movement in Jamaica that camouflage itself to be Christian denomination. Let us hear something from this cult pastor, right? And when we speak of cult, we mean that this pastor involved in some serious situation. Now, let us play the first clip. Now, we want you to look at this, Jamaica. Yes.
God will. Father, we thank you for this unity. We thank the Lord for strength. We thank the Lord that the great men of God have come together to execute their mandate to make sure that this constituency have been into good shape, and our people will be also confident that we can lead them in victory for the coming election 2025. Father, we thank you for greatness, we thank you for success, and we continue to pray that you bless us with good health, long life, peace, and happiness for our people. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
My people, we are extending great greetings and great blessings this wonderful season. It is a wonderful season. We're having a festive time, and my team, myself, the great Honorable Oli Shaw is here with us. We also have our great councillor that served this constituency for many years, Mr. Harrison, who is stepping aside and now handing over the baton to myself, Prophet Radalo. I know for sure that I will contribute to the well-being of society and the development of Christiana and the wider society at large. I am a great man. I am very interested in this constituency, and I know for sure that the presence of God upon my life will help me to execute my mandate in a powerful style. The plan and the vision that I have for this constituency will exceed any other plan that will come up in the future. And I know.
All right, my friend, take that away, honey. This is Pastor Rydell Rowe, and have big ambitions too. You have seen him there with some JLP councillors and, of course, Adley Shaw himself. Now let us go to the second clip. Now we are going to be asking one very serious question here. as we proceeded to the second clip. Now, look at this.
Jamaica. This is Pop God Ministry International, one of the greatest and populous ministry around the world. We are going through this festive season, and we are approaching the season of the storms. We know for sure that Jamaican people have already prepared. Our Prime Minister already put infrastructure together. Our MPs, our councillors, we are ready, and we're ready to take on any storm that will hit Jamaica.
So here we have the so-called cult pastor, Rodel Rowe, campaigning for the Jamaica Labour Party. And this is what Jamaica Labour Party has done. These cult movement, Andrew Holness oppress them so that they can be a symbol of influence, right, to a particular constituency. So you have to understand the external evil what Andrew Holness is using through some of these so-called, what you call pastors. They are a camouflage, they are cult, and not only that they are cult, they are criminals, and we are going to prove it.
I provide products for my team, for my church, and also for my constituency. The division that I have assigned is Christian division. Send a truckload of stuff up there, food stuff, and also we have chapel and those things to distribute towards the society. So we want to let society know that we have your heart, we will love you, we believe in you, and we want you to be safe and be cool for this storm season. We know that Jamaica is going through a lot of ups and downs at this time. We just go through the major.
Okay, so there's a pastor in so-called pastor, cult pastor, in full campaign mode for the Jamaica Labour Party. Take that away and let us get to the next clip. We are going through them very fast, right? Now, let us play the next clip. Interesting. We're highlighting, right? Let us look on the cult actions and how the Jamaica Labour Party affiliated with these people. Now look at this, people. Look at this. Yeah.
I cramp and paralyze every demon that activates in you. Fire. 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 Fire! You demon from hell. Fire! You Niko Kilkubo Sakada. Fire! Take your flight. Fire! Take your flight. Fire! Take your flight. Fire! Take.
All right, there is the pastor, the so-called cult leader, dispelling the evil. Now take it away and let us show stronger affiliation of this person. Now we are showing as it relates to the necromancy that JLP involved in.
Make us say Father Joe, please and come. Oh, yeah, all right, come. It's over.
All right. After the pastor carry off all of that, the so-called cult pastor that JLP affiliated with, we are going to show you the solid complaint against the pastor. Some serious atrocities against that the pastor had done. Now let us get to this document. Let us show you some serious criminality as it relates to what the pastor involving, right? Young lady says Pastor Stone, right? Let us show you some serious criminality now what the pastor involved in. And the Jamaica Labour Party affiliated, strongly affiliated with this pastor. Right? Let me send it back at the bottom. Okay, there it is.
It would not open, so I don't have it.
Okay, so let me just, we are getting into that document because we want to
I loaded it a different way. Let me just find it. It's not worded like what you have there.
okay, all right, just bear some patience with us. Yeah, that's it. Can you type it? Retype it. Okay, we are coming up with the document.
It didn't come up. I can't get it up.
Okay, let me just show in terms of what I am going to be reading from and show the evidence because that document somehow is just not coming up. Okay, so here we have the prophet pastor man from Mandeville, Rodel Row, right? We went to him only because we need some help because my mom have been sick for months, up and down to doctors, only because we want to know what's wrong. Yet doctor doesn't see anything wrong with her, yet she's feeling pains all over and sometimes her belly get big, sometimes little. And so somebody tell her to go by the church in Mandeville. And we went there, right? First, we got to pay $5,000 to see the pastor. Then he told my mom to come back with $70,000, right? 36 bottles of olive oil and 1 big bottle of honey and sell her some small bottle with honey, sugar, spray, and lotion because my mom was in so much pain and I really want her to get the help. I come up with some of the money and bring it to him. Only thing him say, right, she soon okay. Up till today, pain a killer. That pastor man is a wicked. How can you call yourself a pastor and you are robbing poor people? And that was the only money was left in my account. After up and down a doctor, him take it all. Me can't even sleep at night the way it rests on my head. And the worst part, we can't talk to him on phone, only him secretary, and only thing them tell us to visit back the church. Wicked. You're using the gift, what you get wrongly is really the root of all evil. Now that is what the complaint, right? Speaking about him, but that is not, we're not talking about the complaint. We're going to show something real now. Very serious here with the pastor. Let me get to that document. Now, look at this, Brother Rattigan. Look at this, Gleaner. Look at this, Brother Rattigan, because this is very serious. And this is no joke in terms of the question that we are going to ask. Now, Brother Rattigan, look at this. Now take that away. Let me ask a question here, Brother Ratty. And let me ask you this because this is very serious. So this pastor, Brother Ratty, in 2008 was charged for robbery with aggravation, right? And was found guilty. The pastor appealed, and as such, the pastor had gotten bail. The pastor had not returned. Now, this pastor is a fleeing felon, Ratty. Let me ask you a question. Could you tell me the possible reason as to why this pastor is still out there in plain sight with the Jamaica Labour Party and this pastor has not been arrested? There's as a matter of fact, the court, right, send application for him to be arrested. Why is he not being arrested, Brother Rattigan?
That's a good question. Because if the court sent out a summons or an application for his arrest, or sent out an arrest warrant for him,
yes,
he's right there in the public. He's doing videos. So why is
Yes.
it that he hasn't been arrested? I'm puzzled by that. No wonder that, remember they had at one point they had a top 100 and they couldn't find none of them.
Yes.
Well, here's the reason why. Because I guess they're blind. Because you just showed the video, right? You're not in Jamaica. I'm not in Jamaica. Your wife's not in Jamaica. Melting Pot not in Jamaica. But we see him on the video. So how is it that he's in Jamaica and them can't find him? There's some kind of difference being shown to him. And again, like we said, they have one set of laws in Jamaica, but it's the application that is the problem. It's the application. So,
but Ratty, wouldn't this fall on the owners of the DPP to ensure that this man is a fleeing felon?
Yeah, but to me, it's a no-brainer because he's there. He's not hiding. He's hiding in plain sight. He's running a church. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
So if he's the person, the 2008 person, robbery with aggravation, if he's that person, then the question is, what happened? What happened? Unless they're gonna tell me that there's a statute of limitations on something like this.
Robbery with aggravation?
Unless they're gonna tell, because there's no reason. That's what I'm saying. There's no reason. He's there. Go arrest him.
No, unbelievable, Ratty. This man is walking with Adli Shah, right? This man is campaigning with Andrew Holness. This man is campaigning with a lot of JLP councillor, and yet this man is a fleeing felon.
Yeah,
This man is a right there felon because he's not fleeing.
If there's an outstanding warrant for him, then I don't see a problem with just going and picking him up. Just go, you can go Sunday when you know him there at church, and after church finish, then you grab him. It's that simple. So I don't know. Unless they're gonna say it's not him. Unless they're gonna say the guy that you showed, it's not him.
But Ratty, you what happened? Them can't say that. This man spent jail time. This man faced the judge. The judge found him guilty. A case that he tried in court, found guilty. And he appealed it and gotten bail on the appeal. And did not return back to court.
Well, it looked like, I don't know, because by the way, him call himself, I think the title is Prophet. Them call him Prophet. Yeah. So maybe prophets don't get arrested. Them don't spend time in prison in Jamaica. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Okay. All right, Brother Ratty. Let me just go to the melting pot to blaze a fire upon this year. Melting pot.
I have to blaze the fire.
This man, right? Charged for robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of firearm. Found guilty The court prosecuted him. He appealed. And on the appeal, he had gotten bail. And since he had gotten bail, no show. Talk to us, Melting Pot. What sort of madness is this?
Well, this is just political science being played out on the stage. You know, I'm just study political science on the subject where I'm have.
Talk up in the mic, then, Melting Pot. We want to hear loud and clear.
Yeah, this is just political science being played out on the stage. And we all know that Andrew Holness have only one subject, and it's political science. Because we all know that this guy, you know, get arrested and charged for robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of firearm. And if I'm not mistaken, warrant was sent out for him on 2 occasions.
Yes.
But he's still at large. You understand? But if you look, he's a member of the Andrew Holness disciple. He's around the Jamaica Labour Party. Not just Andrew Holness alone, not just Manayard, but size 13. Remember, him and Editor Newman are give out gas voucher up a size 13 place, you know. I remember say him is a gunman pastor. Editor Newman, we all know, is a pedophile. You understand? Pedophile. So when you look at you see the people who is around Andrew Holness, yeah, and the Labour Party, a political science a play out. Because here what it is now. If you notice, you know, Andrew deal with people who can influence people. You understand? When you look, you see him around Kevin Smith. Okay? You see him around Rydell Rowe. Them have church. Whole heap of people got them church. So them people where you see him like Kevin Smith and Rydell Rowe, are influencer for the Jamaica Labour Party. Because here it is. Him all just rob the woman 75,000 and 36 bottle of olive oil. Because she pay 5,000 for the pastor and she bring 70,000 after and 3,000 bottle of olive oil. Him gone with that. But she can't get a phone call to him. You understand? Young people where she get contact with that, must be the secretary or the director them. But this gunman pastor who a perform the work of art where you see a feel up woman in front of her eye, sexually assaulting female. God, this guy is not no spiritual prophet, he's a piece of shit. He's a criminal. But him itch up around Andrew because Andrew play political science. When Andrew have them guy, you know. But all right, people, just look and see who Andrew get 75 million out of the 6.7 billion where him get. Before him even put on a rooftop. Him give to the church community. Because the disciple them him having at the church community, they are influencer for the Jamaica Labour Party. Them influence the member them come to the church for both labor rights. So him have to keep people who him know can pull. That's why I see him to go for all peanut dread. Anybody will have influence and Joe and hold on because that's a part of political science. This is how him work, magic. Him tell you say him not play draft, him play chess. You understand? So him feel like him can't be either way. No, him can't be either way. We dissect him same way. Because him have criminal around him and manipulate the space. Yeah. Man will put the behind bars. Yeah. A political connection make him not the behind bars, Byron. And him not hide him face. Him there, you see him mix drink the man a yard and call the drinks me not dead yet. Yeah. And you see him round Juliet Holness, him and a rapist, handing out gas voucher up our constituency prior to the election. And you see him all over the place with them. It's political science. So Jamaican people have to realize now, say, when you look for Andrew Holness, yeah, he's a demonic guy, you know. We believe in a satanicism. I saw him govern the country. Because we see him publicly on video with Kevin Smith about him from him head to him foot. And we know what happened to Kevin Smith. Him died mysteriously without any further investigation into the circumstance of him death. Nobody was arrested. Not even charged for manslaughter. Them can't find the driver for the white van. We're ramming at the side of the police vehicle. I remember them sacrifice even another young police officer. This tell you the type of leadership we are run the country. A demonic, satanic type of leader. We have cult leader. That's why we are miss look youth them, you know. The girl and boys them, you know. Just look how much of them, you see now, listen. We have a serious problem with cult issue in Jamaica. I remember that rise to prominence under the Labour government. Under the Labour government, that rise to prominence. Because it's a mafia government, we have satanic, demonic, cult government. That's why when you hear them and Kevin Smith did have them problem and Kevin Smith started to say Pharaoh, you might have to say him go get rid of him. Because Kevin Smith did have to talk out the whole of the secret. Kevin Smith that something supposed to marvel Jamaican, you know. How can a vehicle from a side road at the speed and impact hit a vehicle on a main road that was being escorted by police? Yeah? But that individual, when you look on the vehicle where Kevin Smith in how it mash up, that driver run away from the scene. So that driver, if the white van not get no injury. And then when the investigation, I will put pressure upon them say him gonna foreign the driver. But before them say them don't know him. Then oh you know him gonna foreign. Oh you know him gonna so him not come back to the island yet. So him just get a visa and run away from a crime scene. Where him should at least get charged for manslaughter. When him kill a young police officer in the process. As gone to them are two people the white van kill. But we know Kevin did that already. Because Kevin no bleed. The next young officer bleed.
Melting pot. Don't go down too much into the Kevin because I hit we are going to touch next and you're going to need some information for roll upon it. So if you wrap up with the
so
the
yeah,
Rydell,
let me wrap up this up. So with Rydell, you know, yeah? With Rydell, you know, at the same political science we see a play out with him. Yeah? These are undesirable people in our society that the Prime Minister find himself around. Because the Prime Minister is also an undesirable individual in a Jamaican society and in our politics arena. You understand? So we have to call him out for what him is. Him is a piece of shit. If it's a piece of shit, we are going on and infiltrate the church, remember them. Because him knows so them weak and them licky. So him use them because them have a high value of membership, you know. And him have to tap into that with him political science shit brain where him have. So this is how him operate. And we have to call him out because he's a criminal, you know. Because him associate with self with criminal. Like Rydell, Rowe, what them call prophet piece of shit. What you see him a do? All the time you see him in him church, all him keep doing is sexually harassing the woman them. The idiot woman them we carry them body go give him. Him roll them and him conglomerate them, him confederate them and feel them up. And him cannot get nobody better. This guy now, hey, God can't give the power to a criminal. Everybody should have known that a man that is charged with robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of firearm. Oh God, I will give him power to be a prophet as him can be a spiritual healer for people. Jamaica people, them lose them head, my brother. Here? Jamaica people come like them there in a stone age. Them no graduate from the dark days. Oh, you carry yourself as a woman, go throw yourself to this piece of garbage, this gunman, this piece of shit. And who you see him around him? Him have a pedophile because Edgerton Newman there in my organization. And him a run church. But Edgerton Newman sexually assault a little young girl at the age of 12, you know. And Jamaican people should have known all of this. So I don't know where I'm to the people in Jamaica, you know. But them lose them marbles. Yeah? Them cranium gone to the dog. Under Andrew Wallace administration come like Jamaican people. Them a lose them civic mind. Carrying themselves, gone throw themselves to all criminal and rapists. Because them see the guy around Andrew and Manayard. Anything around Andrew and Manayard a criminal. Because them two, they are two big time criminal will mash up Jamaica, rob Jamaica money, and Jamaican people would have to wise up here. The time is at hand now. We have to realize which way the wind blow. I'm sure now the wind not blow for you, know. The wind is not blowing in your direction. So no need to make a new transformation now. Only if you have a criminal administration that run the country, where every week you hear scandal upon them membership. Scandal that relates to big high-level criminality with money involved. And when it's not money, it's drugs. And when it's not drugs, it's gun and ammunition. And when it's not gun and ammunition, it's government corruption, as we say Andrew Willis attach himself to. I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, blessings for that melting pot. Well said. Well, we are going to go into the next cult leader, which is more interesting, trust me. Now, let us show some strong association between Kevin Smith and the Jamaica Labour Party. Very strong association. Without any delay on it, let us put up this document, Kevin Smith and Jonas, right? Let us show Jamaican people so that Jamaican people can be acquainted. It is serious as it relates to Jonas' tactics and strategy, right? Using by any means necessary, right, to influence Jamaican people negatively through the medium of using cult and all sort of things that he can use. Now, based on recent Jamaican media, Kevin Smith was a controversial pastor who led the Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries, which was involved in a deadly alleged human sacrifice ritual in October 2021. Andrew Holness is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Here are the key points regarding the connection between them. Bulletin point number 1, social media photo following the October 2021 scandal. Images circulated on social media of Kevin Smith appearing to interact with or pray for Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Attorney General Marlene Malawu Fort. Bulletin point number 2, political context. The surfacing of these photos led to scrutiny regarding the cult pastor's public connections before the horrific events of October 2021, where he was accused of masterminding murder. Now, let us take that away. Now, so you have two vicious cults that the Jamaica Labour Party definitely associated with using their influence, you understand, to influence voters to the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, let us get into the next document. Now, look at these people. They are showing the evidence. Bulletin point number 3, controversy and denials. The images cause political chatter, with some questioning the nature of the interaction, while others dismiss it as politicians taking pictures with constituents or religious leaders whose background were not immediately known. Death of Smith, Kevin Smith died in a car crash on October 25, 2021, while being transported by police to be charged. Right? As of late 2025, early 2026, the Jamaica Observer has been running a documentary series revisiting this case, exploring the rise and fall and lingering myths surrounding Kevin Smith. We are going to get into some detailed situations and show some sick things, you understand, with this pastor. Let us get to the next video here, and you want to see the craziness as it relates to this pastor and the link with the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, listen to this, people. No, not that. This one. Okay, all right, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Have indicated to me that they have confirmed that Mr. Kevin Smith, or Pastor Kevin Smith, had been convicted on the 5th of November 2007 of 1 count of sexual assault.
Ratty and Melting Pot, take note. Let me just play it over because we want you to listen to what the DPP is saying. Let me just play it back over.
The police have indicated to me that they have confirmed that Mr. Kevin Smith, or Pastor Kevin Smith, had been convicted on the 5th of November 2007 of one count of sexual assault of a male victim, and that he served 6 months in prison, and there was also a 2 years discretionary probationary period, as well as probation orders made for some 10 years.
What was the nature of the case against Mr. Smith?
Well, what I would ask you to do is speak to the police on that matter. I think perhaps because Mr. Smith is now deceased, I would prefer to just leave it at one count of sexual assault in respect of a male victim, a 21-year-old male victim, and perhaps you could speak to the police at the highest level for them to fill in on the details if they believe it's appropriate so to do.
All right, let us play this clip. It's craziness. It's unbelievable. Now look on the next clip that we are going to play on Ratigan and Melting Pot.
The building that once held His Majesty's congregation is now silent, overgrown, empty, for sale. The price tag, $37 million. Inside these walls, Kevin Smith declared himself king. Inside these walls, 2 people died. And inside these walls, some followers believed they were stepping into heaven by walking into death. Today, the church is dead, abandoned. But the fear, the trauma, the questions, they are still very much alive.
All right. Look at the next clip, my Jamaican people, as it relates to these. It's sickening to know that the Jamaica Labour Party affiliated with this situation. No, this one. Here it is. All right. Look at this. Unbelievable, my Jamaican people.
This one?
Yeah. I have information here.
Those of you are late this morning, can I have the late book? I know all who was here from this morning. It's on this one. Put it in this one. How many of you were late? $200 can pay for the whole of your Jingnam family. I'm going to start calling out names. I don't see Paula, you will come to me then. Arlene Martin, Palmer Ridge, Isaiah James. I saw Jacqueline. Norma Willocks is late to church. Where's Norma? Norma, I need to talk to you. Is either you find a new man? So why are you not coming to church no more? You have fixed fence when you should be at church. Your fence are got dropped down.
So look at the next one. It's sick in terms of how you know, the affiliation that Jamaica Labour Party have with these people.
Former members say Smith was more than persuasive. He was controlling.
Listen, lady, you don't come for the power. They'll leave left it. We wanna see. We wanna see. Yeah. We wanna see Jesus.
Blood of Jesus! The blood of Jesus! Obedience was mandatory, all in exchange for a promise of spiritual elevation and eternal reward. But what happens when the shepherd leads the flock astray?
Okay. All right. This is the big question that we are going to ask tonight. But before we ask the question, let us read this on the put up this. Let us ask the big question in the room tonight. And this is going to show you how Jamaica Labour Party, right, seriously involved in some serious things, right? And, you know, it's just unbelievable, my Jamaican people. So let me make you all read it. Yeah.
First one, this one.
Yeah. Possible. Yeah. Yes. Now let us all listen to this, my Jamaican people. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. We are going to ask Brother Ratty some serious question here. All right. Jamaica, we can't make up this. All right. So document is preparing. Let us share that. So Okay, take it away because it's going into different thing. Okay, all right. Let us speak to the evidence in terms of what we have here, solid evidence. While Kevin Smith was in custody, my Jamaican people.
What's that? No sound? Hold on. What's that? Muted.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Were you hearing the reading of the article?
No. No.
Then someone should have someone. Okay. So it wasn't shared?
It was shared.
I thought you just put it up there because you have technical difficulty in reading.
No, melting pot, because from once you see it, you understand. We believe say oh jeez.
Normally, you would read it, Sir Byron.
So they didn't hear the first one either.
Oh, you didn't hear the first one either, melting pot?
First article.
Not all, we don't hear. Put it up back if you want to read it, or you know.
Because you see, we are not going to know, you know. Someone would have to tell us that they are not hearing the information, or you know, because we can't tell.
No, I thought that you were setting it up. That's what I thought, because we couldn't hear anything.
Okay.
The first one
Yeah.
didn't hear either, so.
That means the first one they didn't hear it either.
Yeah, apologies, man.
Okay.
Here, you have to read it.
Okay, so let me just read it.
Let me share it.
Sorry about that, people. Really, my apology. You understand? Because we didn't know that you weren't hearing.
It was the AI was reading it, so we thought you guys were
Okay,
hearing.
all right. So here it is. Pastor Kevin Smith was entitled to due process as according to the DPP. Now, the Director of Public Prosecution, Paula Llewellyn, has defended and given context to her decision for the transfer of Pastor Kevin O. Smith case to Kingston. She listed adequate security as well as a large pool of available jurors as important factors in her decision. It would have been a circus. DPP explained why Smith case was transferred to Kingston. The Director of Public Prosecution, Paula Llewellyn, has cited security concerns and the right to a fair trial among the reasons for the transfer of Pastor Kevin O. Smith case to Kingston. Smith, the pastor of Pathway International Kingston Restoration Ministries, was arrested last Sunday following a ritual at the Montego Bay St. James Church, where 2 people were killed. Take it away. Now, my question that I am asking, right? I did have a video where I did have a video paper, but somehow, trust me, it seems like I made a mistake and delete that video. In that video, while Kevin Smith was in custody, Kevin Smith was telling the police that he's not going to make it to Kingston. They are going to kill him. Let me say, and I'm going to try to get back that video. I have the video where Kevin Smith was saying to the police that if he transferred to Kingston, they were going to kill him. And he was identified, right, someone as Pharaoh. A lot of people said he was making reference to Andrew Ones, to be Pharaoh. He said he was going to be killed. But guess what? What Kevin Smith had said to the police officers, in reality, it worked out the very same way as how Kevin Smith stated that. Now, my question, brother Melting Pot, let me just put you on the board to deal with this. So the question, brother Melting Pot, Kevin Smith told the officers prior to the transfer that if he's going to be transferred, he's going to be killed. And it worked out that Kevin Smith was killed. Number two, Kevin Smith being transferred, really suspicious. Let me say why. Number one, the St. James, Montego Bay, as it relates to the jurisdiction where the crime committed, it has a RM court, it has a circuit court. And so then, we are saying why the DPP did not allow Kevin Smith case to be tried in the jurisdiction where the number 3 committed. The number 3 committed in St. James, not in Kingston. So why then that the DPP chose to move him, and why that prior to moving, Kevin Smith told the police that he was going to be killed, and indeed Kevin Smith was killed. Your take on the matter, Melting Pot. And let me search for the video where Kevin Smith told the police that he is going to be killed.
My take on the matter is that the DPP, Paula Llewellyn, threw a spanner in the works at this whole saga. And if you read between the lines of what she said in her statement in regards to why Kevin Smith was transferred to Kingston, you know, it can't carry water. You understand? A waste argument that she come put out. Because she cited security concern and the right to a fair trial among the reasons why Kevin Smith was transferred to Kingston. In another, paragraph, just talk about, in Kingston there is lots of jury. So I want to know if down in St. James they don't have jury.
They do.
All when she come out, but we know that. But all when Paula Llewellyn come out and say, just prove that Paula Llewellyn know a lot about the demise of Kevin Smith. She knows as the DPP because she was very close to the whole administration and the things that the administration them going on with at the time. She was their protector. Yeah? Because if Kevin Smith, commit 2 number 3 down I'm church in a Mobile, and also a third person were number 3 by the police officers who went to investigate. According to them, they were attacked and them deceased that individual. Yeah? So everything should have been, done down in St. James. Because St. James are the second city. You don't need to move Kevin Carm all the way to Kingston. Wasting government resource. Who is Kevin Smith that you'd have riot now? Because basically that she said. If you cite security reason, then maybe we Paula Llewellyn and tell we say people that riot. If him get trial in a St. James. So you will bring him come to Kingston right, come deal with trial. Then them people them no can come at Kingston too. Them can come at Kingston too, you know. Them no static, them can move. But Kevin Smith spoke about his demise before them number 3 him. Kevin Smith know where that got happened to him. Kevin Smith was making some utterance of Pharaoh. You understand? And they know when Kevin Smith go into that trance, using that word Pharaoh, he's about to spill some beans. No, they could not allow him to spill the bean. Because remember, you know, what this man had done, yeah, it exposed Andrew Holness' involvement with certain people. Remember this man, you know, sacrificed two members, you know, and congregation. We saw where this man just chop off goat head and just drink blood. So blood was a part of this man ideology when practiced. You understand? And Andrew is a part of this same ideology. Blood practices him. When you see him around Kevin, him have to be a part of the protocol people. You understand? So we know for a fact that Andrew Holness has been in the headline for the wrong reason. And one of the reasons them is Kevin O. Smith demise. Now when you further listen to what the first report from Kevin Smith in regard to the investigation that was done on Kevin Smith. Here is Strike 5 Paula Llewellyn, the then DPP, saying that in 2007 she was informed that Kevin Smith was convicted in Canada of sexual charge, yeah, against a 21-year-old male victim. Nobody no one know that. That is going back all the way from 2007. And she relate to some suspended sentence when get over 10-year period. We don't want to know that. We want to know what happened to Kevin Smith on the day when he was being transferred. So when you see she deflect from the real reality and what she talk about and gone way back in the past from 2007. Remember this man dead, you know, in 2021, you know. You understand? So 14 years. 14 years. But her history she got to tell you now about Kevin Smith. What we don't want to know. We want to know why Kevin Smith was not given a trial in the parish where the number 3 took place, where him reside. We want to know also what happened to the driver of that white van that came from the side road and hit Kevin's vehicle, yeah, on the left-hand side on the main road while it was in the presence of a police escort. And why Kevin Smith was not placed in a bigger unit. This little low-down car that well planned and orchestrated based on what we are looking on. And the simple fact of the matter that the driver for this white vehicle escaped the scene. But when you look on the impact of the vehicle where Kevin was transported in, the fact of the matter that another security officer, JCF member, who was sitting beside Kevin Smith at the back of the vehicle, on the right-hand side, he also died as well. So that was a big impact of an accident. But the driver for the white van just left the scene. Left the scene, you know. I remember the vehicle where Kevin in at the police van where I drive that him survive. So we are saying, oh, the man left the scene and left the vehicle. And nobody no round him up. Him have all chance to leave all the country has gone to them. Gone a foreign. Alright, him no come back to the island. Because we no hear nothing following up after that, you know. It's like Kevin O. Smith case just dead. Like something you throw in the water. And it just sink and gone at the bottom and you don't see it back. I saw them treat them type of thing about several of these high profile murder activity in Jamaica when I get no farmer investigation. Kevin was taken out by the state. Him in them present and he was not being offered the protection that he should have got. Kevin should be in a big black Marriott vehicle. where them transport prisoner in a. You know, supposed to transport Kevin in a regular motor vehicle where police drive. Him supposed to in the prisoner unit. But if him in there, so the van couldn't kill him, you know. Or them stage it couldn't have like that. So them have to make sure no him in a little ordinary. Yeah, them have to make sure no say.
As it relates to the escort team, he was not providing adequate security. So it seems like they ensure that he did not
ensure. Yes. Them ensure. Because we know when you move prisoner, you know. Because them call him prisoner. Yeah. When you move a prisoner, you move him in a black Marriott. You don't move a prisoner in a regular police unit. You have special vehicle to transport prisoner. So why was Kevin Smith not being given that type of transportation? Because you have a safeguard him, you know. Him not supposed to travel, you don't know, in a vehicle all the way from St. James to Kingston. And it's very suspicious when you move a man from St. James to Kingston for a trial. Because Kevin don't even supposed to go on trial so quick. Because the thing happened the Sunday and on the Monday the man dead. What can go so? When you merge the two incidents together, yeah, him commit to him for commit and church the Sunday. And alive 2 member, yeah. But the Monday, him gone. Him gone for the Monday. Until today, him death is of a mystery to everybody, apart from who orchestrated. So we know the people that is closely knit to this whole event. And we are talking about government official and security official as it relates to the DPP. Yeah? She privy to this. As it relates to who are run the country, who get mixed up with him, and who him are going to expose them privy to it. So that's the truth about Kevin Smith. Them eyes. The fact of the matter that even a driver, them protect the driver for the white vehicle. When you see these things, a sting operation them carry out. That is the operation where them orchestrate, where them pull off. Them can't fool the society at Jamaica as them think, you know. We have a lot of critical thinkers. Me know if a vehicle ram in a vehicle at the speed because 2 passengers to lose them life. One on the right and one on the left. That vehicle, the driver could not leave that vehicle. That driver would have in a some pain, him couldn't get up and left the scene. So you can't tell me say you couldn't apprehend him. And you can't tell me say that driver did not seek medical assistance. Him just alright as him can fly out left all the country. But when they have the van at the police station, when they have the van at the police station, you know. Yeah, I want to realize some video work done on it. Want to move it. Why want to move the van, the white van from the police station? Why? So the whole operation was an operation orchestrated by the state. Yeah, no 2 ways about that. But what is damning about this whole thing is that them sacrifice a young policeman. And we not hear from him side of family, you know. Because government would have to tell me how my son or my husband, or in the case of a wife or her husband go. You understand? Because a young youth. Only just sacrifice himself. Something is fundamentally wrong with the Labour Party. The activity where them find themselves attached to is activity that should not be encouraged in a society. Cult business no good. Where you have to make sacrificial to whoever you want to praise. It can't be good. And we are miss a whole heap of young youth them, girl and boy. And a long time Jamaican people are echoing the sentiment of sacrificial going in Jamaica. Yeah, but when you look, only the JLP administration, these things pop up when the JLP is in town. Yeah, the high level of young people in Jamaica missing, especially children going to school. It's alarming over the last decade. If you do a count of how many girl and boy attending to school disappear from the landscape of Jamaica, it's a vast amount in numbers. So we have a problem, and the problem is Jamaican have to fix that. We know if you have the labor administration is a criminal labor administration. I'm asking the question once again, Jamaican people. What will it take to move Andrew Holness from the landscape of politics and take away the government leadership from him? What will it take? Is it that everybody is afraid of Andrew Holness? Or not afraid of immobilizing? I yield back the floor.
All right, Melting Pot. Before I make Ratigan come in, Ratigan, I have 3 concerns, right? That I want you to, expound on. Number 1, right? Kevin Smith was not slated to be tried in the jurisdiction where the crime committed. I find that highly suspicious. Number 2, the method of which they used to escort the prisoner from Montego Bay to Kingston wasn't appropriate. It wasn't aligned with any protocol as it relates to how you escort a prisoner. Number 3, that is highly suspicious. He stated publicly that he was going to be killed, right, during the escort. And indeed, he was killed during the escort. What say you on this matter?
First thing is, did he have an attorney? And did his attorney raise the issue of transporting him to Kingston? That's the first thing that came to mind. Second is a high value. You consider him, quote unquote, a high value prisoner. How do you transport? Is there a protocol for transporting people of that nature around the country? Or you just put them wherever you feel like put them and move them whenever you feel like move them in whatever vehicle you feel like putting them in?
There's a protocol. I'm going to bring up the protocol. Talk about it.
Okay. The DPP mentioned and Melting Pot elaborated on them 3 reasons. Security concerns, and like you said, if you're concerned about the man's security, then how come he wasn't secure? How come he ended up dead? She also said a right to a fair trial. Is she saying him couldn't get a fair trial over in St. James? We don't know that. And she said a large jury pool, and like Melting Pot says, like, well, we don't have a large jury pool in St. James. Those are her reasons. I'm trying to figure out her motivation. What compelled her to come up with those reasons? What was the real reason why she wanted to move him? And in order to ascertain that, I started thinking about whether this was an irregular event or a regular event. Because I go back to pattern and practice. Is it the pattern and practice, or was it the pattern and practice that whenever you have a high level, you have a sensationalized case that is gripping to the public, that you move it to Kingston? Where else? What was this done? Was this the first time this was done? I'm sure it's not. Kevin is not the first, first person to be accused of murder that you can consider high profile, that did not come from Kingston. So the question is, did they move? Are you going to move all of these cases now? The case up now Westmoreland is a high profile. Are you going to move all of these cases to Kingston? It makes absolutely no sense. So it's like, okay, what was the real reason for this? And like you said, people can make whatever they want out of it. But the man predicted his death. as if he knew it was going to happen, as if he knew a plan was afoot, and it happened. That's a fact. And so this whole thing is problematic. It's just problematic because he shouldn't have been moved. The trial should have taken place in St. James. As I said, they have competent courts there. They have a jury pool that they could have gotten jurors out of that. And another thing, if they wanted to move him, why Kingston? You come all the way from St. James. Why couldn't move him? So what was the reason to moving him to Kingston specifically? And again, to emphasize, I would ask the DPP, how many cases have you moved? How many cases of this nature have you moved from around the country to Kingston? It makes no sense. No sense. You find the video?
Mystic, you find the video? One talk, Ratty. Mystic, now hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Can't.
Okay, sorry. All right. Let me just put up this Ratty as it relates. I have not found the video yet, but let me show you the protocol in escorting prisoners. So then you can see a lot of breaches that the DPP had done. And the DPP should know better. This is a lot of serious breach. So, all right. So based on legal framework in Jamaica, including the Corrections Act and standard minimum rules for treatment of prisoners, the protocol for escorting prisoners focuses on security, safety, and confidentiality, while protecting them from public view and curiosity. Now, key aspect of prisoners escort protocol in Jamaica. Bulletin point number 1. Security and safety. Prisoners are to be transported in a manner that ensures their safety and the security of the public and officers, avoiding unnecessary exposure to public. Melting Pot had mentioned, as it relates to the Black Maria, that arm for the appropriate process to escort prisoners. Number 2, transportation units. The Department of Correctional Service, or the Jamaica Conservative Force, is responsible for transportation. In some instances, specialized secure vehicles are used. Now, while specific minute-by-minute protocols are not publicly detailed, standard procedure dictates that prisoners are restrained, handcuffed, chained, while being moved to prevent escape. As we know it, Kevin Smith was not even handcuffed. So Paula Llewellyn herself had broken all the rules. Now, medical emergency. If a prisoner required medical attention during transport, they must be taken to medical facilities. Officers must ensure the prisoner is not left alone, and that restraints are only removed at the direction of a medical staff. Right? So look at that. The key regulations governing transport, the Corruption Act, the Corruption Act dictates that inmates may be taken beyond the limits of a correctional facility for authorized purposes under escort. Standard minimum rules applied in Jamaica. These require the transport be done in ventilated vehicles and prevent unnecessary physical hardship. It is important to note that the Department of Correctional Service works under the Ministry of National Security, which was faced challenges with overpopulation, often impact the logistic of prisoners. Let us take this away and have Brother Ratty, you understand, based on that information now, Brother Ratty. So you see very well that, of course, right, Paula Llewellyn had made some serious flaw. But again, Brother Ratty, what would be the reason that they want him to be killed? Because obviously, as it relates to the escort guidelines and policies, right, Paula Llewellyn, the police officers would have broken all the rules. Number 1, during escort, he was not handcuffed. Number 2, he shouldn't have He shouldn't have been escorting in the vehicle that he was escorting in. He should be escorting in a secure vehicle. So let me have you on that input, Brother Ati.
Yeah, well, now that you show that, I wasn't aware of it, but now that you show it, it would appear that it's not only the DPP that her action would be called into question, but the JCF, because he wasn't transported by corrections, it was by JCF, because she would give the order and they would be responsible for the travel, the safety, the security. So the first thing is, why did you need him to come to Kingston? And the second one would be, how come he wasn't protected as per protocol? Because I think it says somewhere in there that a high value prisoner, yeah, you have to provide special vehicle or something like that.
Yes.
Right. So, but you know, I'm glad you're highlighting it, but sadly, them close the case, yeah. You know, but at least we'll let people know, say, well, right now, boy, we understand the nature of what's going on here, because it just seemed highly irregular, all of these things. From the moment they said, okay, we're going to send him to Kingston, we said, no. And that's why I asked if he had an attorney, because if he had an attorney, his attorney should have argued that, no, don't bring him to Kingston. The crime occurred. He's a resident in St. James. The crime occurred in St. James.
Yes.
We have a jury pool in St. James. We have courts in St. James. We have police in St. James. So why are you going to bring him to Kingston?
But Ratty, you won't know. And I'm glad you brought up that. Because of the urgency in terms of taking him out. He wasn't given a lawyer. He didn't have an access to a lawyer.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Serious, Ratty. He did not get a chance to even have a lawyer.
That's a problem. The moment you restrain the person's movement, right? The moment the person is not free to go, especially if you say, well, you're under arrest, the person should be afforded the right to an attorney right there and then.
Exactly.
Because what happened is that you don't want your client talking, you know, making utterances, and that's why it's important for them for the attorney to be present, so that the attorney, or if not present, at least not present physically, but by phone, so he can say, listen, don't say a word, I'll be right there. You know, I'll join the motorcade. So big problems.
But Ratty, based on the evidence that we are seeing, it would suggest that the government, the state, want him to be killed very fast.
Well, based on the videos that you show on the company that he was keeping and the activities he was involved in, it's fair to say that he had secrets for a lot of people in high places. And so they couldn't allow somebody like that to sit down and start talk, because, you know, he would have, of course, he would have to make a deal, and part of that deal would be tell us what you know, and who knows all. But remember, no, we all have situations which part people end up dead.
Yes.
In a situations where they're not supposed to, but not like that's supposed to happen. You know, we have people dead in a prison, fire, all kinds of things happening. Yeah,
right.
wonder how that happened.
All right. Well, Ratty, here what we are getting now. We are getting a big case tonight.
Hit me.
Big case tonight. We are getting Jamaica people on the state tight, getting a coffee, right? Biscuit, crackers, or whatever. We are getting in the big case tonight. Let me go and change the screen. Melted pot, gear up yourself. Make sure so you have the GP and G right side of you, you know. Now we can get in on the big case. So we want to get in tonight. Big case. Now, honey, without any delay, let me give you the information to put up while you are eating your, what you eat, honey? Pistachio. What you call it? Pistachio. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, you eat your pistachio. Let me prepare the big case, the big case for the people that want to see. Now, make we get into it and dig down in the big case what we have for the people, because the people are waiting for it bad. Now, let me dig it up here. What are the people? Because I don't send it to wifey yet. Well, let me just dig it up. People. All right, wifey. Here it is. Let me send it at the bottom. Right? That you can pick it. right? Because it's a case where the people want to see. You know, we say people going to prison. Now put it up. On it, put it up. Because I know say people are going to prison of people. People are going to prison. And me not lie you. Let me say this, Ratty and Melting Pot. You know, say like the DPP are very serious. It looked like Claudette Thompson now play. Yeah, let me go read it. Let me read it. Because I don't want no mistake make again and them hear it.
Let me see if we can maybe do it another way.
Right?
See if I'm hearing it.
All right. We don't want to make no mistake. Right, people? Should try it a different way. If we not hear it,
let me look on the phone in the chat.
You understand? Make we ask, we are trying to use the AI
to save Baron
to save my truth a bit.
All right, ready?
Ready.
You are ready.
Let me know if you're hearing it.
You hear it, Melting Pot?
No, we're not hearing not yet to know.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Melting Pot.
All right, hold on. Let me just get rid of that. And then...
All right, Melting Pot. You can't read it out for me because you know, my truth sort of.
You can't read it out. Come on the screen, me boss it.
All right. Yeah. We are go.
All right, the title.
You see it?
All right, you see it, yes or no? Yeah?
All right.
Criminal case against former SSL executive. Move from parish court to Supreme Court. Scroll. All right, come up.
You get it?
Yeah, me see it now on the big screen. The criminal case against 3 former executives of the collapsed investment firm Stock and Securities Limited, SSL, have been transferred to the Supreme Court. The case against SSL Growth Equity Limited and Delta Capital Partners Limited have also been transferred. The move by this country top prosecutor was announced on Monday when the 3 former SSL executives appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Director of Public Prosecution Claudette Thompson used her constitutional powers to halt case before the parish court. Prosecutor disclosed. Instead, Thompson's office indicated that a voluntary bill of indictment would be used to move the case to the Supreme Court. Hugh Croskery, founding director of SSL, his daughter Sarah Meany, and former SSL Chief Executive Officer Zachary Harding have each been charged with fraudulently inducing person to invest, failure to register a company, carrying on business in Jamaica, carrying on a securities business without a dealer license, breaches of the Banking Service Act, and failure to apply to the Financial Service Commission to be registered for securities issues. SSL collapsed in January 2023 amid allegation of a $4 billion fraud. Law enforcement officials declined to comment on whether additional charges will be filed against the former executive of the company. However, King Counsel Jacqueline Samuel Brown, the attorney representing Harding, indicated in court that the prosecutor have signaled there are other aspects of the case they need to address.
All right.
Laverne Barrett. Yeah.
All right. Let me take that away, right, and speak to Brother Ratty. Thank you for reading that Melting Pot. Now, Brother Ratty, you are the legal mind. Take us through what that means in terms of bypassing the RM level and just go straight to the Supreme. What does that mean? What? Yeah, let me just have you come in and speak to us in relation to what.
Yeah. It shows a seriousness of intent and purpose. It shows, at least at this point,
yes,
it's showing that she means well in terms of getting justice.
Yes.
For the people of Jamaica, for the investors, and for the system itself, because the system, as we know, the system has been tainted for such a long time that it's refreshing to see somebody trying to do something to say, okay, let's bring a measure of justice to it. Now, I must tell you this though, that this lady, the same lady, she has a history of failing on the big cases. I don't have the, wait a minute, I think I have it right. Well, I think I have it here. I just so happen to have it here.
But Ratty, she put her Maitland, you know.
Yeah, but hold on a second. She put her Maitland, but here's what happened. There was the NEPA case where she was the acting DPP. There was the Vibes Cartel case where she was the lead prosecutor as acting DPP. There was the Javan Garwood case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Dante Brooks case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Uchense case where she was a co-counsel with Jeremy Taylor. There was a King Valley case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Klansman case where she was a co-counsel with Jeremy Taylor. There was a Dwayne Smart case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Cash Plus case where she was the lead prosecutor. All of these cases went down the tubes. No, all I'm doing, I'm just giving people a history. Now, does it mean that she won't do better this time? No, it doesn't mean that. But I'm just saying, before we start jump up and down and clap and things like that, just if we do it with a measure.
Yes.
Do that measure of caution to say, hey, you know what? She did this before, but now we see where she's trying to do something. And so we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Right? The one thing I would like to see her do, though, is this. Tell the people what is the level of exposure these people are facing. What do I mean by that? Tell us how much time they might look at if found guilty, and what are the possible options for the sentencing. That's what I would like to see. Because if you go back and you look again, most of those, if you go back and you look at it, most of them are they're like administrative failings. Failure to file, failure to this, failure to notify. There's one, the first one, the larceny or something like that. Please go back to that for me.
Oh, okay. Let me just go back to the document. We didn't close all that. Okay, honey. All right.
All right. There it is. Fraudulently inducing persons to invest. All right. Putting that one aside, right? Can you move Adrian Francis's comment, please? Because I can't. I'm a blackout part of the thing.
Oh, okay.
And Adrian said much too early to expect anything from the new DPP. But Adrian, remember now, she's not exactly a new DPP because she's acted in that capacity. If you remember when they had a constitutional event and they had to send home the then DPP Paula Llewellyn, she was in charge of the office. Now, granted, a lot of things just didn't get done because, she suspected that she would come back, and she did come back. So you don't want the things that that later on will be overturned, overruled, or whatever. But look at this, right? It says here, charged with fraudulently inducing persons to invest. All right, that's a serious charge. Look at the others. Failure to register, carrying on a securities business without a dealer's license, breaches of the banking services, and failure to apply to the Financial Security Services Division Commission to be registered for securities issue. Those 4 charges, they're mainly administrative in nature. They're not. What you get for that, you get fined for most of those 4 charges. You get fined. The other one, you run a risk of going to prison. So I would like the DPP to come out and say, hey, this is what we're aiming for. This is what we're aiming for. And that's perfectly legitimate for her to say, this is what they're facing. Even if she doesn't want to tell you what the options are, she can say this is what they're facing. I would like to know that. So we'll see.
Are you still using the document, Ratty?
No. Thank you.
Okay. All right, but here my thing, Brother Ratty, that these charges, right, has the possibility to have other connected charges that can be very serious.
That's true. They can supersede it. You're right. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I think what we are seeing though, right, it's some good sign that, you know, some seriousness, as you said, seems to imply here, right, which it looked good on the face of it. But as you said, we are not to give all high hopes and so forth and take it with a caution. Yeah, you were saying.
What I'd like to say? I would like to say who she's going to assign to argue this case, you know, or to prosecute this case. I would like to say is she doing it herself? Because she's very experienced, no doubt about it. She's been around for a while. She's very experienced. Too bad they lost Jeremy. Jeremy, I think he's down now in Turks and Caicos, right? But I would like to say who's gonna prosecute this case. They have Miss Pike. Miss Pike is there, but Miss Pike right now, Miss Pike is on another case. She's on the case with the police officers who have been charged with murder, and that case is being defended by Hugh Wildman. That case is going on right now. So I don't know if she's gonna get Miss Pike to come over and take care of this, or she has some other attorney in mind. But I'm just hoping that it's not somebody with little experience. I'm just hoping it's not that, because she's going up against Bert Samuels' sister.
Yes.
You know,
I almost guarantee that dealing with a financial case with this level of magnitude, they would want to pick some very good people to prosecute this case, right? People with experience, Ratty. I'm just in terms of my hope, not saying that, you know, I am 100%.
All right. Let me ask you a melting pot. Let me ask both of you a question then.
Yes.
We see the 5 charges, right?
Yes.
Both of you know this case far better than I could ever hope to know this case. I know this case inside out. Are there more serious charges that you believe should have been brought against these defendants at this point?
I think what I am somewhat, you know, disappointed with, although I am saying that, you know, other connected charges may come later, is to see where, you know, I would prefer the charge under the Fraud Act.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which that would signify or signal more seriousness and more gravity as it relates to the level of charge. That gravity of charge. Right? Just like what Panton, right? Gene and Panton charged with. Right? If those charges leveled against them as it relates to Gene and Panton, but we don't know if, you know, that is in the making. To me, right, in terms of looking at it, and where here is where it is very I'm somewhat meticulous. If you look on the Crowd report, Brother Ratty, the special investigators, the very skillful forensic investigators make recommendation for charges. I don't know if they are going to might be look on, you know, the recommendation of the forensic experts in this case and may go along within that line. So I am saying that, you know, I don't want to speak yet in terms of saying, okay, all right, these are only the charges, right, being there. Right. I almost 100% certain that other charges may come. Right?
Before melting pot, before you jump in and provide an answer, for me, it's just interesting that with Gene and Panton, them never wait to bring the serious charges. Them just hit her with the serious charges right away. And if you think about it, she's probably the smallest player in the group. If you think about it. And them never hesitate for just hit her with the big charges. So why is it that they meet them with basically 4 you know, there was one charge, melting pot.
Well, on the melting pot, one of the questions that I want to ask, is it a situation that the possibility that they can use Gene and Pantan as crown witness?
Yes.
Well, problem with it. Melting pot.
Yes, when we look on a case, when we look on this case, you know, this case have serious implication. You understand? And this is why they move away from Federal Bureau investigator to prowl. Because, you know, FBI have investigating powers and arresting powers, but CRAL only have investigating powers. No, they couldn't have bring in FBI because FBI would have, you know, hit the nail on the head right there and then. But in the CRAL report, it states that, you know, charges are to be made. And then now the CRAL report going to a file 13. You understand? And so we know that cover up is the order of the day. Because you can't spend $120 million worth of taxpayers' money, you know, to seek clarity on a scandal where rock the island. But then when time the work been done and paper been submitted to you as a ruling government, you put it in a file 13 or it under Andrew King size bed asleep on. Me no know, but that's something like that. You understand? But we see the same type of game play already as it relates to the 90s meltdown, the FinSac report. So it seems like Jamaica Labour Party government does not like to release any form of report as it relates to documental evidence in regards to fraud and theft, where their party affiliated members are implicated. So when we look on that now, we know the full scale of where we're going. But we see them try to deflect the actual crime, which is stealing investors' money, and try to pin it on a little simple fish, a little tiki-tiki, Gene and Pantan. When we know the big old blue marlin them are swimming in the water, and we know the blue marlin them, you understand? So when them want take now as for them part of the, you know, what they call it now, investigation. It's a simple little charge every year at the talk about. Like not having a license to operate. Them that simple charge. We are talking about the hardcore actual criminality in taking the people's money under false pretense, scamming the people through means of corruption, selling a narrative that did not exist. There was no actual investment being undertaken by SSL. SSL was merely selling a bandolo gadget, and people buy it and end up lose all their investment. So the right thing supposed to do right now is just charge these people where we know, where we sit on the book in front of it. Gene and Pantan cannot move all these amount of money. The simple fact of the matter, Gene and Pantan need more than one signature to authorize any check where she want to make up. I remember the bank, them know the signature. The bank know the authorized signature where it look like. So the simple fact of the matter, yeah, that is only Gene and Pantan alone. We see them have fling the actual crime pan. We know that it's a no-go show. She alone can't do the work what they want to talk about. But we know the big blue mall in them do the work because them set it like that. Them can't get through with anything because them well rigged the corruption ring, you know. Protection is here even from Financial Service Commission, FSC, I protect them. Stock Exchange, I protect them. We know a Keith Duncan over there, so we know the same Lecky, they are FSC, Jacqueline, Lecky or Lecca where she want name from Stuart Auto Supply. Yeah, we know the whole corruption ring. We know some Mark Craskery and him a draw down the big whack of investors' money. Yeah, they look tiki them go around to Gene and Pantan and some other people. Investors like Bolton, the little old lady there with the 60 million. And the Craskery them angle that. And the money they not really sit down in a SSL. The money they move to more secure location. Places like Bang. Them have a bank where them work with. The money that's gonna sell and go clean and funnel through a certain loophole. Yeah. So we know people to get charged. Yeah. The 4 people them are look on to get charged relating to theft. Not this little licensing thing where we see them have put up. The real charge is about stealing the people them investment. And we're talking about billions, so I don't see how them want to look on this thing like it's a little small object. This is a huge object in front of it. And it must come with the type of level of punishment that it requires. This is a major racketeering, the biggest one in the history of Jamaica. You can't just treat this like a kindergarten. No, you have to treat this like an adult. Full force of the law. Remember the crash with them involved in similar activity, you know. The daddy, you know, from Paul General Associate, Eagle Merchant Bank. It's not like it's a first offender. It's a serial offender. I remember it's not the first of this type of corruption scheme. It's the third. And I mean, the players, them remain the same, basically, in terms of affiliation. You might have 1 and 2 individual change. Yeah. But in the sense of Eucharisty, Banker, and Jamaica Labour Party, those are the 3 components that coincide with all the Ponzi scheme. When it's not Dan Crawford as the banker, it's leeching. When it's not Seaga as the Prime Minister, it's holiness. And the party is always the Jamaica Labour Party. They have the conglomerate that is, you know, inside of this web of corruption. And for them people, and for them thing, it's their project. That is one way of defrauding hard-earned investors' money. You understand? They have done it more than 1, 2 times, 3 times, and it's carrying on. And I mean, the man them use the mechanism, you know, and get away. Because from the FinSac report was not made publicly, so that people could have got a first-hand view as to what is the real substance within that investigation, to prove who were the stakeholders, who were the main big players in it. It would have highlighted what we know. So they kept it under wraps. And they do the same thing with the SSL. This is why they could not bring FBI. FBI would have investigated, and where people found in breach of corruption, they would have been arrested and charged. But with Crawl can only do a comprehensive investigation, whether forensic or whatever means of investigation. That's all they can do. They cannot do the actual arresting. So Nigel Clark play a good tune. We know him as the Piper Boy. He play a good tune when him trick the Jamaican people and say, FBI will be here, we're not leaving any stone unturned. Nigel Clark knew right there and then him sell the people alive. Him know them not going for FBI. Because remember, you know, Nigel Clark come out and rubber stamp the fact that FBI up on the ground in Jamaica. And an individual close to them said, no, FBI not there. Lie them I tell. So Nigel Clark, the Pipers boy, played the Jamaican public at large. This is why Andrew Wallace was trying to distance himself. Andrew Wallace know the serious level of corruption where them carry out. That's why he distant himself in the beginning, in the initial phase. Him say him not know of nobody from the party. And him not involved. But then further investigation proves him take out fee money, him know where going. Then you hear about what we know about from the whistleblower. So we know a lot about this case. Ratty know about the case too. You might not discuss it as often as me a mistake. But Ratty, you know, say, man forgot prison, man. The whole bunch of them forgot prison. And we are talking about from the Prime Minister to him associate them. Nigel Clark to come back and go to prison too. Because you have to use all of them to make example, you know. You can't allow this thing to continue. It up more than 2 times. And them get away with it. And every time when millions of dollars taxpayers' money pay to do a comprehensive analysis of what take place by bringing in investigator, them sleep on the report. It never been made public to Jamaicans. So we can't have this type of administration who literally bully the nation. Do as them like, regardless of what the situation. Yeah, where the outcome is concerned, they are in charge of the outcome. Yeah? So now we need something of a new renaissance to come and shake up the whole justice system. So if it's Claudette Thompson gonna come and do it, you know, I welcome her, but I look on her through my corner eye because I want to see how much we actively pursue these high-level criminals that we have in Jamaica and bring them to justice in a swift and timely manner, where we don't have to be wondering about statute of limitation. That must be taken off the book. We need to see a drastic reduction, yeah, as it relates to the over 3,000 high-profile case that is in the judicial system that is not being looked at to rectify in terms of getting results where justice is concerned for whichever party. Right now, the taxpayers and the investors in Jamaica have been taken for a long, long holiday ride by the incumbent government, where we have seen them misappropriate taxpayers' money to the tune of billions of dollars, where we have seen them come up with Ponzi scheme that orchestrated a mission and a move to defraud investors of billions of dollars, and they have been relatively unscathed. Nobody go and pursue them. Yeah, they have been unscathed. Just look at Royal Reid. How long we know of Royal Reid defrauding the Ministry of Education to the tune of several millions. But what we see with Royal Reid case, him languish around the place, each up beside them on the campaign trail, and them want to use the same statute of limitation. Them carry out a little fake mark operation, where them go in the yard early morning. Yeah? No, everybody know who Royal Reid is. People where him live know say him live out there. So where you wrap them in a tiger coat for? You carry them out, people know them, them are criminal. Why are you dripping them in tiger outfit? They are not tiger. Them are rat. Tiger not thief, you know. Tiger go work for film one. Me that predator, you know a film job that. Rat thief. Rat cut up your can bag and yam out your can. Where you look your big bag of can come right down a ground. And I that the Andrew Hollis administration do. Thief the taxpayers' money from out of the cookie jar. Them thief, little them thief, enough them thief all type of size. Yeah, the last size will come out at $1.4 billion. So we are talking about justice as well. We know justice will appear and look when it comes to deal with high-level 5-star criminal like Andrew Hollis and the administration. You must bungle them in front of everybody's eye. Don't cover them up. People know them already. Bungle them and take them off of the street, man. Take them out of society. Confiscate the wealth with them get ill-gotten gain, give them. Liquidate back them concrete structure building. Put back the money in the taxpayers' coffers. And Jamaica will rise again and breathe again. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Byron.
We want to finish the night with a pending lawsuit, right? That is out, that we are going to speak on, right? This is the last clip for the night, and we are going to deal with this pending lawsuit. So we have a lawsuit here out, right? as it relates to Miss Julian Chang, the PNP councillor, right, where he went on Big Mama Station and, you know, the famed Member of Parliament, Dwayne Vaz, here. So, Dwayne Vaz is responding as it relates to this bill of suit here. Here it is, January 27, 2026, right? Addressing to Miss Julian Chang, Queen Street, Savlamar, Westmoreland. Dear Madam, read the defamatory statement made by you against Dwayne Vaz, published, broadcasted on nationwide radio January 26, 2026. Kindly be advised that we represent Mr. Dwayne Vaz, Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland. During the broadcast referred to a caption in which you were interviewed, you made a number of false and defamatory statements concerning our clients, including but not limited to the following. 1. You allege that your political career was being destroyed by our client as a consequence of your refusal to accede to his alleged sexual advances. 2. You accuse our client of stating that you were fixing labor right roads. 3. You further allege that our client removed you from your position as chairman of the Savlamar division. This statement is entirely false. In truth and in fact, an election was duly held at the said division, which you attended, and during which you were neither nominated for any office nor elected to any position by the members voting in a free and fair election. 4. These statements are wholly untrue and have caused and continue to cause serious damage to our client's reputation. 5. And final, we note your recent interview in which you sought to rely on allegations of sexual harassment said to be approximately 10 months old as a tool to advance a narrative against our client. This conduct is most unfortunate. Take that away. Let me just ask Brother Rattigan to respond. I was at a bang around this, Brother Rattigan. It seems. What's that a bang around one palm? NNN, right, as it relates to Julian Chang. And now say lawsuit now, you understand, she have to put on high heel if you go walk up 11 step. We don't know what go on. What do you think I go on as a rat?
Who's this lady? Who's this lady?
This is Julian Chang. She's a PNP councillor in Westmoreland.
Okay. Was or still is?
Still is. She's an active PNP councillor.
Okay. It looks like this is a season for this, you know, because for the last year, the amount of lawsuit myself for defamation. I mean, it's amazing. Because they're from the same party, I'm just curious as to why is it that whatever is the basis of the dispute, that they couldn't talk about it, because now it's out in the public forum, and apparently she went on a radio station and made what? She made 3 or 4 allegations. 1, sexual advances. 2, that she was accused of fixing labor right roads, and 3, that she was removed from chairman of the SAV division. Those are some serious allegations, so I just hope she can prove them.
Right.
Yeah, because people remember that truth is a complete defense, right? And in addition to that, you have to prove your case. You just can't make your allegations and say, well, that's it. You have to prove your case. And one of the things you're going to have to prove, you have to prove damages. You have to prove how were you damaged by all of this that was
Yes.
said. So it's a long road. We're nowhere near the end of it. This is just the beginning. So we shall wait. We shall see.
All right, exactly. All right, before we bring in Melting Pot, let me just hear from Sister Pot. Sister Pot, Wagwan.
Good night to my Titan brothers. Good night.
All right, blessings.
Blessings, Sister
You
Pat.
know, I sit down here, you know, I'm in Jamaica, and me I look, and me I see. You know, I say, me not so bright, but something I feel done at Jamaica. You know. Since night, a farmer is scheduled international airport with cocaine again.
Oh, yes.
You would have liked to ask them, which part of Jamaica is cocaine factory? And which part of farming? No, this thing I get so terrible.
True.
Not make plant at Jamaica and not gang offering. Everything there you can go, but cocaine. What cocaine come from Jamaica?
Right.
Eh? And when you look again, me I watch you one so I dash out on sitting past some heads of police and some big man. Almighty God, Mr. Trump, Mr. Rubio, whosoever you be, who no can help Jamaica, no? Who no can't come for them out there, brother? We pity them and we grand pity them and go suffer and this, you know? Who know the big power, you know? And regardless of geopolitics and war going, you know, we can't go America for China, you know. So we stick with the eagle, not the dragon.
All right.
We're going to rescue Jamaica. Please. Donald Trump, Rubio, come this too much. Then the next thing again, mistake. Me understand, say the ATI, like it's something Mr. Ratigan always talk about.
Yes.
The ATI to the Prime Minister affair, them blacky.
Huh.
So you can't find no ATI again. What that?
Dictatorship.
Eh?
Dictatorship.
Then this little woman was say she need child. No. Me tell people all the while, I am 100% female, you know. But me tell them, my grandfather tell me when me smart, dark, say man wicked, but woman cruel. No. Mr. Luan Tom did have to my play, the world scenario. And when you look, this woman dreams in this man. I look him there before the man in a parliament, you know. So this is now from February last year. I found the 5th of February, the 8th of February, 2024. So why I know she go through that? And he told them about a conversation as two responsible people from 2024. And just a few days, 2 weeks or so, left a week and had left. A couple of days to make it a full of year.
So that's
and now, look where the woman gone over Big Mama, over all station, figure talk. Eh? Mark Golden, I want you to tell you. And because Dwayne Val must go married. So I look, she I look man. And Dwayne Val no want him. I'm making him do this. Right? And Cliff Hughes now get it on. Finish and run with it. And before Cliff Hughes run and say, people have here walk over dead by the ground in the Paniford Hospital. And I do CPR Paniford Hospital. Them not run with them destiny, but they run with two mature people. Conversation. Two mature people, because if a man text me, if a man have my phone number, and he might text me to things when me no want, me stop him in track.
Yes.
But she entertain it. So that for sure is a two big people conversation. So I want to sue him, see? Because if the man, the woman, and Miss Anne Maria woman, and if somewhere you have some man with enough, somewhere you get your number, and he might text you, and you're not going to hold no conversation with him if you're in a certain things. You're going to say, look here, man. Hi, stop right, that's a man. Mr. Married woman in Arabia, no man letting no brother.
Exactly.
So if that the kind of position you want, cut it, black and delete. But she entertained the argument. So there's no sexual harassment in that.
For more than 10 months.
She tell the man to how the dream team and want to watch the dream team I do. And he man ask if it was nice. Make people conversation. If you don't believe me, make loan some show you can loan some show you over here.
Yeah.
So with that again, me a beg you. Me don't know what we can do, but Jamaica become a coke den.
Yeah.
Like you know, it come like Colombia, where they say coke come from. No have the amount of coke like out there. It can mash me up mentally, everything. Cause our young people don't have no future. Hospital mash up mistake. We not no doctor, we not no nurse, teacher gone, this a shut down, this is a shut down, farming. Lord have mercy, what's
all right.
Don't have to do something about Andrew Wallace. Andrew Wallace, you need to step down. Or run down. Anyway, me go back to class.
All right. Exactly. All right.
Think back, big up yourself.
All right.
Big up yourself, sister.
Hold on. Before we make Pat come in, because we just get all of the full detail now. Let us just play right Big Mama side of things, where she went to Big Mama and said what she said. Let us hear it. Let us play that. So we hear the accusation over here. All right.
Good afternoon, Ricardo. Good afternoon, Cliff. Good afternoon to the listeners. Well, in our cover story this afternoon, politics. A PNP councillor is this afternoon accusing the Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, Dwayne Vaz, of misconduct, including sexual harassment. Images seen by our news center show suggestive sexual messages from Mr. Vaz to the councillor. In one message, he told the councillor, Julian Chang, about a dream he had of them having sexual intercourse. The councillor also alleges that the MP has been preventing her from attending constituency executive meetings. We've heard recordings of the MP trying to bar the councillor from attending one of those meetings.
Campaign against what? Campaign against what? As a councillor, as an elected councillor, and the Constitution, I am a member of the executive of Central Westmoreland.
Yeah. As I said, in the special circumstances where you campaign against us.
Campaign against what? Against what?
Against me.
I campaigned for the PNP and won the seat for the PNP. So you're telling me that I'm not a member of the executive of Central Westmoreland. That's what you're saying. Okay, anything else?
No. I'm not saying it.
You'd like to move me?
You're not the chairman of that special.
Would you like to move me? The party says they do not recognize. The party says they do not recognize the chairmanship that you have. So who are you to say that I'm not the chairman of the
Go and speak to the party.
So you're bigger than the party?
I said don't talk to the party.
You are bigger than the party?
That's the voices you hear are those of the councillor for the Savannah Lamar division of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, Julian Chang, and the Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, Dwayne Vaz. The councillor joins us now. Good afternoon, Ms. Chang. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chris. Good afternoon, Nationwide.
Let me begin. What is happening here? You're accusing the MP of sexual harassment? On what basis?
Well, this started out in February when I received some texts, which I shared with you, of him telling me about having dreams of having sex with me. And since that, and of course you saw where I responded, asking him if he was drunk, right? Since that, we have not had a good relationship.
And beyond that message that I saw you sent to our producer, yes? Was there any other thing that you could say is suggestive of sexual harassment?
I have heard instances of several unwanted sexual gestures and comments in the past.
And have you ever told Mr. Vaz that those advances were unwelcome?
No.
Why not?
I just never wanted him to feel out of place, so I just never mentioned it.
So why do you raise them now?
Because when I look at the emotional abuse and the sexual harassment and everything that he's doing now, to me, I feel as if it is now time come for me to speak. I'm traumatized, Cliff.
But these exchanges with Mr. Vaz took place how long ago?
Sometime back in February.
February 2025.
Yes.
A year ago. Yeah?
Yes.
And since then, the relationship between you and Mr. Vaz has deteriorated.
Absolutely.
And go ahead. To what point? That he doesn't want you in the organization
I can also
anymore?
mention that there was a point when he called my spouse and told my spouse that I was having an affair with someone else. And I brought him to a meeting with the party about it. The party looked into it and we had a discussion on it.
That party being the PNP or your
Correct.
spouse? Huh?
The PNP.
Oh.
And what was the outcome of the meeting?
I was told that the party's internal affairs would be looking into it.
And since then?
Nothing.
So you say that the relationship deteriorated after you ignored the advances, and certainly the ones I've seen, one indicating a dream whereby there's strong sexual language about what would have happened at a hotel. But is there any other reason that you believe the relationship deteriorated? In the recording we heard, Mr. Vaz accused you of campaigning against the PNP.
Yes. Well, on the 22nd of August, 2025, he removed me from the constituency executive WhatsApp group. And he removed me on the basis that I was giving the JLP information, pertinent information, as it relates to his campaign. Mind you, I was never a part of his campaign team.
Were you giving the JLP that information?
Not at all.
So where would he have gotten that from?
I have no idea. I was fixing a road in a predominant JLP area called Tivoli in Savannah Lamar along Darling Street. And he accused me of doing a JLP road.
So what is your status now in Central Westmoreland, Ms. Chang?
I am the councillor elected to represent the people, and that is what I am doing now. Since the hurricane and the relief has been coming in, I've had no conversations, no communication, and no assistance from the Member of Parliament.
And you no longer attend meetings or participate in constituency executive matters?
I have been barred from the meetings since August 22nd. I reached out to the secretary for the constituency and asked her to send me the pertinent information that I may need to know as it relates to the Savlamar division. And she indicated that she spoke to Mr. Vaz and he instructed her not to send me any information at all.
Had you received any information since then, though?
No, I haven't. And subsequently, he also convened a meeting September, October, and placed a chairman in the division named by him with 10 persons in the meeting. And since that, he has been doing all communication and the meetings has been attended by the divisional chairman that he has chosen.
So have you reported this to the secretariat, to the leadership of the PNP?
Every single thing that I have spoken to you about now, yes.
Including the allegations and the screenshots that we've seen of Mr. Vaz saying to you that he had a dream about having sex with you.
Correct, yes.
Have you sent those things in writing?
I have sent the messages to them, yes.
And what was the response you received? Let's take that after the break.
That the internal
Hold on, Councillor Chang. We're up on the break. Stay with us, please. Central Westmoreland, the PNP's Julian Chang. Today, Ms. Chang brought to our attention that the relationship between herself and the Member of Parliament, Dwayne Vaz, has deteriorated badly.
We hear too much of the drama. And let us get into the other portion of the, and sorry, Brother Ratty, because I just get in this portion of the letter, the complete letter that was sent. So this is part 2 of the letter. Right, stop that. It's affecting. Yeah, this is part 2 of the letter. So during the interview, when questioned as to whether you had reported the alleged harassment to the People's National Party Women's Movement, you stated that you had informed everyone. However, when pressed further, you admitted that no report had in fact been made to the said women's group. For the avoidance of doubt, any allegation of sexual harassment arising within the People's National Party would plainly fall within the remit of the PNP Women's Movement, which is an obvious and directly interested body to receive, document, and address such complaint. Your admission that no report was ever made to the said women's movement is therefore telling and materially undermines the credibility, seriousness, and veracity of the allegations you sought to advance during the broadcast. This inconsistency is misleading and casts serious doubt on the reliability of your statement. Further, you made a false statement during the interview when you asserted that you were unaware that Mr. Vaz was married. This assertion is demonstrably untrue, as you were fully aware of his marital status and had personally observed him wearing his wedding ring since 2024. Wow. The year of his marriage. In light of the foregoing, we hereby formally call upon you to immediately issue a public apology and a full withdrawal of your false and defamatory statement, to be published on nationwide radio on or before Friday, 30th January 2026. That is your ultimatum, being 3 business days from the date of this letter. The precise terms of the apology and withdrawal are to be agreed between yourself or an attorney of your choosing and the law firm of Knight, Jr. and Samuels. Take notice that you should fail to issue the requisite apology and withdrawal. Our client will have no legal proceeding against you for defamation without further notice. Since I did ask Brother Ratligan to respond on it, and he had responded on it, I'm just going to have Melting Pot close us out with this situation. Sorry, Brother Ratligan, this portion came in late. But to the fact that time is upon us, we just want to ask Melting Pot to close us out where this conundrum is concerned. Melting Pot.
Yeah, my brother. This saga between Julian Chang, Councillor of Sablamar, and Member of Parliament, Dwayne Vaz, is a type of tit-for-tat saga me a look on right there. So. Because, I mean, let's face the fact. The simple fact of the matter that the allegation that she has now brought to the public attention, the long-standing allegation from February 2025. You understand? And I mean, we are seeing where she's trying to be the victim when it appears to me that she's the villain.
Exactly.
Because she know about Dwayne Vaz relationship that is married. You understand? He's not a single individual. And she did not report her sexual harassment as she put it out to be for over a 10-month period, nearly a full year. But when you look on, the simple fact of the matter that during our interview with a Big Mama, that she bypassed all the PNP woman movement, which is our executive body within the People's National Party. And I'm more share them thing with, people of your sexual oriented gender. You understand? But she left the People's National Party woman movement and go itch up underneath Big Mama share this type of conversation. And I know the reason why she got there. Because she knows opposite mouthpiece, you understand, who speak against the People's National Party. So by taking her grouse to Big Mama, it will be highlighted and mentioned in a certain category. But here is where she failed to understand where she was going. She said that she encountered 2 phases of sexual harassment. One physically and one verbally. Yet she undergo those 2 types of harassment. Now, if you is a woman who now suddenly become traumatized. No, why you never traumatized when it did just occur? When it should have sent shockwave through your body? Because you not expect this of you has gone to you married. Yeah? So if
Melting Pot just cut off right there. What is happening? Right? I think Melting Pot experiencing some technical difficulty there. But,
number.
Okay.
She just make it look like one night she just stay her bed and get a phone call and Dwayne Vaz tell her, say, well, then, boy, just dream, say, me and you have sex, I want hotel, I just thought she make it look like. No, that would have sent shockwave through any woman. So there's no way should I keep it under wraps for 10 months and I come push it out. No. Simple fact of the matter, because here she mentioned, say, Dwayne Vaz label her as a spy.
But Melting Pot, hold on there, Melting Pot, hold on there. As it relates to the 10-month period where this happened, did she communicate it any at all to her husband?
No.
Okay.
Then I hear me say she keep it under wraps. I just know she have come out with it, She said she have been to the General Secretary and the leader for the party. But right there and then, she undermined the General Secretary and the leader of the party. Because she said she not getting a result. Yeah? Now, in my own calculation, she not supposed to be in the People's National Party. I mean, I will just state the obvious. She is a problem maker. Yeah, I mean, I take up for nobody, But if you are going to bypass your leadership, yeah, as it relates to the General Secretary and the leader for the party, you are going to bypass an executive woman movement from within your party. Yeah? But you are going to end up with a big nasty thinking Big Mama with this. This is just seeking some form of vindication.
Exactly.
You understand?
100% correct. Yeah, 100% correct, Melting Pot. And that is my area of concern. Why didn't you use the woman movement in the PNP, women movements? And then the thing is, you know that Big Mama is definitely a PNP opposition, and then you choose to use a PNP opposition platform, you understand, to sell your message. I find it vindictive and malicious.
Yes, yes. And she's hell-bent on destroying whatever good that the PNP is amassing amongst people perception.
Yes.
She's trying to throw a spanner in the works.
Are we looking at another Karen Cross?
Definitely. Definitely. Because she undermined the leadership of the party. You know? And we are talking about senior leadership within the party. Because if she said to Big Mama, she should speak to the General Secretary and the leader and she not get no redress as it relates to anything from them towards the circumstantial event between she and Dwayne Ball. Then technically she undermined the leadership of the party and she also undermined the women movements within the party. So we know where she go with this. But what we have to look at and understand, there is some growth between she and Dwayne Ball. Yeah? Because she and Dwayne Ball apparently had a good social relationship. Let me put it this way. God them have each other number. So let me start out at social relationship. Or a party affiliation. Or it could be constituency affiliation. But them have some form of affiliation. Now, how can something, whether it's so good or what, how can it deteriorate over 10-month period? Simple fact of the matter, something was said about Julian Chang in regard to Julian Chang not being the type of individual that the party thinks she is. Why would Dwayne Vaz make allegation about she being a spy to the Jamaica Labour Party and remove her from the WhatsApp group? Something is brewing. And the simple fact of the matter, she's acting out of terms, basically. Because if you win a division as a councillor, your priority is to work on behalf of the people who voted for you, first and foremost. When you give those people the requirement that they so need in terms of road infrastructure, they can move on to the wider division within the constituency. But for she go one place for them called Darling Street, Tivoli, and fix the road and neglect, then you remember Parliament must ask you where you going with. You remember Parliament doing that must ask you where you going with. And you can't talk about you just a fix a road because you are this type of councillor who does not believe that you should victimize one place over there. No, so it go, woman. And so it go. When you come in a politics and I represent a particular party, and in the case in a local government election where you control a division, your role and responsibility and priority is for your division. The people that will vote for you. Them people that want to see you fix the road over there, so them are going to relate back to the member of parliament who is above you in the constituency. And then the member of parliament have to make him own assumption of who are you within the party and the constituency. And he might hear certain things on the ground. Because enough of them people, them are back and belly rat. You cannot trust them. You have to take them as a pinch of salt. You understand? Because this Julian Chang should have gone in to our work in our division. Yeah. And by extension, when you look after your division with the people and vote for you, yeah. I don't know if this place here we name Tivoli, Darling Street in Assam, if it fall within your boundary of the division where you win. Me don't know. Because it couldn't be, you know. I just hear the description. So she now expand herself. And by so doing, she fall foul of the party protocol and the people's choice. And then I think that's where now certain debate or discussion between she and Dwayne Vaz as the member of parliament. Yeah. And make sure know so where she are going with wrong. She take offense to it. And by so doing, maybe because we know half we two can't agree, then you know we have to kind of part in certain way. So in ban her from the WhatsApp group. Because I'm suspect so well then she's not a true comrade. Yeah? That is how me I dissect it. And she now becomes irate to the fact that she been left out of the WhatsApp group. If you notice here, she mentioned the WhatsApp group. Because now, them have to block you. Them not trust you. Because once you're in our group, you know, you don't have to hear directly from me, you know. But you can't hear what me did say to Palm. Because you and Palm, yeah, have certain affiliation. You understand? You don't have to hear from me directly, you know. Me might say something to Tom. Tom and you have a reason. Tom I tell you what me say. Yeah, care back what me say because true you never hear me say to you directly. You feel like me not gonna know. But you care back what me tell Tom, what Tom tell you, go over the fence, go distribute it. So I feel, you know, Dwayne Vaz know where I'm going and decide say, look, we have to ease our out of this thing, you know. Where discussion is concerned at the group, we have to exempt her from it. She have still remain as the councillor because she have the rights to that. Yeah? But them can't trust her. So when she realized, well, then she come under scrutiny. Yeah, where she don't know. She run go over Big Mama. Go create a euphoria. Yeah? Because she feel like, so well, then she can, you know, throw some weight behind her own mission by using Big Mama as a trigger man. So she go there and she knows that them are going to deal with it on the level there. But all she do is minimize our chance to represent the People's National Party. Because from you publicly state that the leader and the general secretary of the party did not give you any form of justification as you determined to be, you know, get nothing from them. No meat, no nothing. Then me wouldn't want you in my party. Me wouldn't want you in my party, you know. But I run you out of my party like tomorrow. Look, some G is a decent man. Some leader you have left them party. Because you bring the party into disrepute and you're telling lies.
Exactly.
I listen to the interview. And I can't pick out the lie them what she are telling her it. Because you say one thing you saw. And Big Mama cross question you. And you said no on the same thing where you did say yes. So you're not consistent. And anytime you find a person who is not consistent, you know they're not telling the truth. That's one way of determining a liar. How come you change and you just do the interview, you know? And not even 2 minutes ago you tell the man, say, Bubba, you know. But the man cross question you back and you say, no. Why you not tell your husband? That must something you like, man. But you find out, say, Dwayne Vaz married 2024. Yeah? And so, you know, this wild open arms now going to receive you again. Me don't know what you want. Because from, if you're a real wife, are you in a relationship, and you have your man and your yard where you live with, and at your workplace, a certain individual, yeah, sexually harass you, physically and verbally, the right thing to do is to go and talk to your gentleman at your home. before you even go seek consultation from Marky G and Dr. Data.
Well, you know, for her to be going to Big Mama nationwide who try to get any single droppings, you understand, for go against the PNP, I can't. I can't.
PNP, she not come with them to get rid of her.
Yeah,
them
I can't.
To get rid of her. Yeah, you say anything when you Chang, brother. It's not over the PNP side, you know. Chang belongs to Labour right, man. Because the simple fact of the matter, you have the man phone number, you have him a text message, yeah? Over a 10-month period. But just when you been exempted from a WhatsApp group, and the WhatsApp group has caused a problem. And like some other people have burn her out now. Yeah. And she can't take it here, she said.
Traumatized. Because we long past the time, yeah. 10:43.
Yeah. She has said this thing and now traumatize her. Or something like this to traumatize. Eh? You're a big woman for Christ's sake. Or a little text message, a man tell you same dream, say you're him upset. Oh, that be traumatized you. You're a virgin. Are you a virgin?
But what on the melting pot? I don't know how that could have traumatized her. Andrew on the statutory declaration not certified for much years, how much money are about to traumatize her.
But you see the whole point of it, you know, look, Mystic, yeah, and Ratty. The whole point of it, you know, is that this woman here is seeking relevance. And there's no relevance here. You understand?
Yeah.
She has fallen foul at the mandate within the party that she claims she represents. You understand? This is not how you go about internal affair, woman. What happening at the house must get looked after and sort out in the house. You don't carry it go to your political opponent.
Exactly.
What would you achieve from doing that?
That's the current cross syndrome.
It's the current cross syndrome. So you know the whole landscape and the blood and fire come ready to go burn our road. Yeah, and we have to worship the right there. So one thing we have to tell her, say, yeah, woman, find some go. Find another party to represent. I yield back the floor.
All right. I hit that. Ratty, anything you want to say for the final closing?
No, just a pleasure to be here and ask everybody to join me tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Thanks.
All right. Make sure. Run over Ratty, 7, Lonesome, and so forth. Right? Andre, so forth. Do all of the, you know, what is possible, right? And make sure you stay, right, in the pool of communication. Ratty, big respect. Melting pot.
My cousin brother.
Right? Blessings always. Right?
As usual. Blessing.
All right. And people want good.
Safe travel on the gravel, guys. Bless up.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.